involved in the Interact Club, FCA, and the Special Olympics volunteer. He attends Anthony Grove Baptist Church and is involved in mission trips and the youth group. He also participates in service activities and volunteer work for the community. After graduation, Christian plans to attend Gaston College and obtain an associate's degree in business with a diploma in welding. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting OneStopShopper.com Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete not only for accomplishments in athletics, but also for overall achievements in the classroom and for overall school and community citizenship. Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Gastonia.
Hello, this is Milton Baker inviting you to listen to NASCAR Racing right here on WCSL 1590 AM, 92.3 FM, and KTCBroadcasting.com.
The next game against the Whites, of course, they got drilled last night. I think they're going to be like that all year, win one, lose one. Got good pitching, but when somebody hits their pitching, they're done because they just don't hit the ball very well. But hitters are expensive. We were actually studying this in economics class,
Mhm.
and the average salary of the positions.
Yeah.
And like, why is the salary of first baseman so much greater than,
because they
left
hit
fielder?
30 home runs.
Exactly. What costs more money? Hitting
Yeah.
does. Designated hitters average double what your average outfielder does. Like your defensive positions, you could tell they're lower. And that's why like a Frankie Lindor goes for so much money, because he can play defense and he can hit. So hitting's at a premium, man. If you're a low budget team, you just can't afford the hitters.
Well, I mean, hey, that's the name of the game. It's to hit or not to hit equals a win or a loss.
And then you struggle with attendance. Well, why do you struggle with attendance? Because what do fans pay to see? They pay to see some. Did you see Schwarber hit one 462 feet last
God,
night?
he hit that to the moon.
That's what they come to the ballpark to see.
Well,
so
Well, hopefully today. Am I on? Yeah. Hopefully, my ears are not on. Hopefully today, plenty of people come out to the ballpark today up in Forest City, McNair Field. Yetis doubleheader. Coach Dawson got his first win last home game, and they're back at home today. They play again tomorrow. So 2 today, 1 tomorrow. $5 to get in. It's like I said, doubleheader today. They play Guilford Tech, and then
Weather's finally getting nice enough to go out to a ballpark.
You're right
it
about
was
that.
hot for a couple days this week, and it cooled off last couple of days. It was nice.
Yeah, I'm looking. I like these degrees, not the under 50s. The 50 to 80.
I love under
is a good-
50.
50 to 80.
No, I don't want it to get to 80.
I like it in the 80s.
I don't want it to
50
get to
80s.
80. No,
I can
like it in the
tolerate
50s.
low 90s.
Oh,
I'm all right with it.
I like
Only
weather.
if I'm doing something, like if I'm golfing, swimming. I have to have something to keep my mind off the heat.
Well, if
Not
it's,
watching baseball in the 90s.
If it's like
I'm not just gonna sit there.
the good old Mediterranean climate where it's usually in the high 70s and gets into the mid 50s at night.
Yeah.
No, don't need air conditioner. Don't need heat. That's the ideal climate.
Well, we've got scores from last night, and Hunter hasn't been here in a month and a half. He might be pregnant for all I know.
No.
Okay. I didn't know.
Oh my God! What?
Did Weddington really beat Asheville 42-0?
Yeah. Pretty
I'm
bad.
looking at a score up there, and
I know what you want to read.
I don't know if I'm looking at a football score, a baseball score, a hockey score. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Polk County, North Stanley. I
That's
guess
exactly-
North Stanley had to forfeit. That was in the news.
Oh,
The corona outbreak. They had to
Hockey.
forfeit. Yeah.
I was
And
like,
you know, Hunter, they were undefeated. They were undefeated on the year, and were a real threat to win the state.
How about third straight week Polk County has not played because of Corona.
Well, it's your own corona, and now somebody else's corona.
Right. And
are they planting the corona at places now?
I'm not sure.
Polk County, are they going around saying we're getting ready to play North Stanley? We're going to send a transfer student over there this week.
North Stanley's
It's a pretty good hike from Polk County to Stanley County.
North Stanley's biggest issue, and I spelled it wrong on the board, is they spell Stanley wrong. They don't
is
use-
it no
they-
E?
They don't use an E. So
Stanley?
yeah, whatever you want. But anyway,
What's the Christ the King Mitchell score?
I don't know, Tom. That's why it's not there.
I mean,
But I
did they
can
play
check.
at all?
I can check. When we left at 11:45 last night, there was nothing on Twitter, nothing on Max Preps. So we can look it up again in just a moment. But I tell you how I set up the board so you guys will know. The teams touching each other play each other. I'll do the top to clear it off, and then I'll let you read the rest. So, Catholic and Crest last night. Catholic wins 28-21 over Crest. They will go and face AC Reynolds, who won 14-7 last night over West Rowan. Mount Pleasant won 21-20 over West Lincoln. They will go and face Mountain Heritage, who won 46-21 over Forbush. And the rest of the boards are just straight across. That's who they play, guys. So go ahead, Hunter, and have at it, Bubba.
Okay, Kings Mountain 49, Robinson 6. They will face Monroe, who defeated Statesville 47-21. The Burns Bulldogs come out in a nail-biter over High Brighton 13-12. They will be facing Salisbury, who defeated Maiden 52-12. Shelby over Walkertown 42-6. They will be facing Hendersonville, who defeated the Anthill. Oh, I'm sorry, Bunker Hill. Henderson, 42-14. That was Hendersonville over Bunker Hill. Looking at the next board,
So that means, real quick, Hunter, Shelby goes to Hendersonville.
Okay, so Shelby was the lower.
Right.
Okay.
Salisbury goes to Burns. I'm just only doing this for our local team, so everybody knows. And then Kings Mountain will host Monroe. So the two games on the radio lost last night, but the other three didn't. So that's our local games next week, folks. And then I'll go ahead.
North Davidson 40, Pisgah 14. They will be taking on Oak Grove, who defeated Ashe County 17-12.
And Ashe County's the higher seed in that, right? Happens every year.
I got the sheets in front of me here.
Every year.
Go ahead.
Elkin 35, Andrews 28. Elkin will face Murphy, who defeats Thomas Jefferson 28-20.
Well, Oak Grove beat Ashe County. Tom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It happens every year. Was Oak Grove the higher seed?
No, the top.
Yeah, that's what I said. Ashe County's the higher seed. That
Right.
happens every year. There's a mountain team that gets the high seed in the home game, and they get beat every single time.
And then also what they did, Hunter, they took 32 teams. Here's how you get your bracket. You take 32. They just take the 32 best.
Okay.
So in each A, there's 4, right? Then they split it east-west. That's why Salisbury is coming to play Burns, Tom, when they played
put them
Shelby in the state
considered in the
championship
East.
3 years ago.
Yeah, I think that was less.
Or 2 years ago. Was it
I
2
was
years
there
ago?
because I did
we
that
haven't
game.
done one in like a year and a
Because
half.
I did that game.
Okay.
Because it was at Wake Forest.
Yeah,
I was
and
up
they-
there, and
Shelby
Shelby absolutely dog walked him in the first quarter.
Right.
Yeah, that's what was weird. I was like, Salisbury shouldn't even got off the bus.
I just want to send my thoughts and apologies to the Griffons who came up a little short.
All right.
Always got to throw that jab, huh, Tom?
All right.
It's as if something's poking you in your side about
Finish
that.
the scores.
Came up a little short.
Hunter. And,
They did come up short.
And I'll go back over the brackets after you finish.
Mitchell, 56, Christ the King, 0. They will face Winston-Salem Prep, who defeated Robbinsville 34-26.
Hey.
There he comes.
Biscuits.
Is that the drum roll?
The one.
That was
The
you can
only.
kinda hear it.
Terry Reinhardt.
Terry, welcome with the biscuits.
Thank you, Terry.
Biscuit
Yep.
Man is in the house. Mitchum's Kitchen, 704-276-1155.
Thank you, sir.
Serving food 7 days a week. And Terry, no matter how good the food is, Tom,
Yeah.
no offense to anyone up there, but they send us every Saturday the ugliest waitress I've ever seen.
Yeah, they do. I do want to say one thing. Shannon is a little annoyed at your sarcasm. He said that Shelby defeated Salisbury in 2019, which was last season. I think he's a little irritated that he doesn't quite, he's not catching up to your sarcasm to say that was a 2019, and you're saying it's like 3 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, so Shannon, that is his delivery of sarcasm is so bad you can't tell it's sarcasm. So he actually knew it was 2019. He's saying that the COVID makes it seem like it's been 5 years ago. I think that's what he's trying to say.
And the problem is, some of you folks killed comedy and sarcasm a long time ago.
Right.
And
Well,
everybody's
but it's not. I mean, I just said,
hurts their
what's the score in the Christ the King game? I don't know, Tom. It's what's not up there.
right.
But he didn't do his job. See,
It was not. If it
wasn't for me,
when
wouldn't have
Dennis
scored.
and I left the building last night, there was no Mitchell Christ the King score. on the
Sometimes if you
internet.
have other numbers, you can figure all that out.
Other numbers, oh my God.
So
Terry,
Polk
okay,
County.
I tell you what, Terry. Speaking of numbers, what happened when WL win last night? What was that score? I can't remember.
What you mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What's your shirt
that's
say?
the playoffs.
What kind of
That's
shirt
how
is that?
it
Is that a Murphy Bulldog shirt?
Yeah.
man, they were. Had to be a back and forth. I mean, that was a tight ball game. They had to come up
I
a
mean,
little
you got to have field goal kickers. You got to have extra point kickers. You got to have that when you get to the playoffs. If you do not have it, this is what happens.
Right.
I mean,
it's been the story of the year,
yeah.
and Tom knows it just
I
as
mean,
well as anybody.
As long as you're in high school football, you've got to have kicker.
13-12
Makes a difference.
High Brighton, no kick, no extra points. How many games this year in the Southwest was decided by kicking? Special team decided a ton of games this year in the spring with the soccer, the lower numbers. It was crazy. And honestly, last night, real quick, Terry, Hunter, with about 2 minutes left in both games last night, it looked like the other team was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Like West Lincoln scored with 1:12 left to go in the game and lost. Up 7, minute 12 and lost. Crest started the game on fire, just about to, looks like they're going to run up the score on Catholic.
Right.
And the next thing you know, it's 28-21. Burns and High Brighton, they was 0-0. Was it halftime 0-0 still? And they end up, High Brighton scored late, and you're like, oh, God, there goes them. So at the same time, I thought the West Lincoln and Burns games were switched. And then 5 minutes later, games were over, and those were the finals. We knew Maiden was getting beat all night.
Yeah, they just got blown out, didn't they?
So the South Fork 2A is no more in the playoffs. All right, Hunter, you can pick up back where you are, and I'll read through the brackets.
The hockey score of the day, Polk County 2, North Stanley 0. That means Polk County will move on to play North Rowan, who defeated Community School of Davidson 66-26. Pine Lake Prep over Mount Airy 33-27. East Surrey 62. Northmore 6. So Pine Lake Prep and East Surrey will be the next matchup. Dudley over Watauga. I've always thought, you guys can say, Hunter, you're just being funny. I've always thought that's the funniest damn name in the world, Dudley. I always have. I always have. Whether it's the school or who's the NBA player, his last name's Dudley. He, for years, he's just like a consistent, Chris Dudley. Yeah, he's just got consistent bench rider. Anyways, so Dudley over Watauga 28-8. They will be playing Roberson, who defeated A.L. Brown 36-29. Pum, pum, pum. Weddington over Asheville 42-0. They will be facing Mount Tabor, who defeated Alexander Central 36-7. Grimsley over East Forsyth 27-13. They will be facing Hillside, who defeated South Caldwell 42-26. Butler 42, Glenn 7. Were those just two guys matching up against each other in darts or something? I don't know. Butler defeated Glenn. Anyways,
sounds like some Harvard fraternity.
Yeah.
Butler
there you go.
defeated Glenn.
There you go. Butler defeated Glenn. So Butler 42, Glenn 7.
I'm sorry, that was last night's Quidditch match.
Ah, yes, there we go. Butler over Glenn 42-7. That means Butler will go on to face Providence, who defeated Hickory Ridge 44-34. Huff over Green Hope 43-15. They will be facing Vance, who defeated Kell 44-28. And then the final two scores on our board, Panther Creek defeats Olympic 21-14, and Myers Park all over Northwest Guilford as they won 63-18. So that matchup will be between Myers Park and Panther Creek.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Panther Creek in the Raleigh area?
You're wrong.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. Well, I might be. Where is
I don't
Panther?
know.
Perry, you know where all these schools are. Where's Panther
I
Creek?
have no idea where Panther
I
Creek
don't know.
is.
I'm thinking it's the Raleigh area.
Hunter,
Why
Google
are they,
that while I get this set up.
Why are they in the West is what I'm wondering.
Tom Whiteville was in the West, 3 or 4 years ago, Terry?
But that's one.
Panther,
I don't know the exact numbers, so I
But
think
there's
I'm exaggerating hurt anybody's feelings.
High
I don't know when
school.
Whiteville was in the West.
Panther Creek High School is 145 miles away.
Yeah, it's in. Well, it's not. That's not Raleigh. area.
Yeah, it's close to Cary. Well, Morrisville, really.
No,
Yep,
Mooresville's less than 144 miles away.
Morrisville.
Morrisville. Okay.
Yes, they are close to the Raleigh-Durham International Airport, just off of 40.
It's in Cary. It has a Cary address.
Tom.
What the heck?
Tom, I said Cary, but closer to Morrisville.
Well, if they're in Cary, how are they closer to
Look,
Morrisville?
Cary's right there, but Morrisville is closer.
So, are they on the other side of Raleigh? Talking about they're on the east side of Raleigh? Why are they in the west? Why are they
no,
playing
no,
on
no,
the
no, no. They're on the west
How they
side
do
of
They're
Raleigh.
on west side. Okay.
West side of Raleigh.
Okay.
But I guess is that the cutoff point, Raleigh?
No, y'all didn't listen to a word. Terry, did they listen to a word I said a minute ago?
No.
You were
They
listening on
was
the radio,
not-
weren't
yeah,
you, Terry?
they
Did you hear
wasn't-
what
they
I
I
was
said?
not
want to
paying
know why a
attention.
team that is in proximity to Raleigh is playing in the west.
Terry,
Somebody explain
Terry,
that.
they
to me.
don't listen. All right, Tom, I'll explain it to you. This is easy math, and this is the North Carolina educational system at its finest.
Good God.
How about what they do, Tom, is they take the top 32 teams in each division. So 32 teams in 1A. Got it?
Don't matter where they are.
No.
No.
Okay.
Then they draw the line.
Oh, okay.
So the 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A lines are all different.
Okay.
There is no one line. There
I
is
see.
no set line. There is
I
no
see.
middle of the state. So 2 or 3 years ago, what I was saying is Cherryville and Bessemer City both had to travel to Whiteville, which is 30 minutes from the ocean. So how many playoff teams were between Whiteville and that beach?
Yeah, I know.
So they end up in the west because all those teams are concentrated out there on the coast in the northeast quadrant. And like Coach Pruitt said, I think last week, which was the closest school around here? Like one of those mountain schools, Elkin or one of those,
Yeah.
he said? I
See,
can't remember
but
which
what
one
I
he
would
said.
say, what I would say is, I would expect that in the 1A where there's not as many
Right.
schools. I don't expect
2
that
and
in
3.
the 4A. That's a 4A school. Olympics 4A, is it not?
Oh, yeah, that's 4A.
Yeah, it's 4A.
Aren't they split? But they're split like 12%. They're not. It's not 25, 25, 25 like they're doing next year on the percentages. What's the
Yeah.
1A and aren't the 1A and 4A are smaller?
Yeah.
So that's how you get that in the 4A and not
Thomas,
the
the
2
only
and 3.
reason you come in today is to question our geographics up here.
Well, none of you
on
know
where-
geography. None of you know it.
I mean,
Not all y'all slept in social studies
Rude.
class. I'm just trying to educate you.
I can name all 50 states and their capitals.
Very good.
Listen, Tom.
So can
that
most
is an
graders.
listen, Tom. That is an assumption, and you know what that means.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I do.
can't say it on air, but you know what that means.
Make something out of you and
I'm
me.
just,
right?
Exactly.
I'm just saying that North Carolina's nothing makes sense. The way they do the conferences playoffs, nothing makes any sense. It's too hard to follow them.
Well, I agree.
That's what happens when you
well-
put stupid people in
Well,
places
then,
of
Tom,
power.
after you, but here's the thing. Once you've already then you've split them that way, right? East west. Then you say, well, now we're going big small. So then you go,
Yeah.
or the reverse. Either way, you're splitting it twice there, and then that's how you end up in the geographical.
I'm glad
oddities.
they're getting rid of that. I wish they would go to. I think we need 5 classifications. I wish they would go to 5.
I like 6, and this is I want one of them to be a charter.
Definitely.
So 5 in charters. Just to play regular season, play wherever you want. I don't care honestly in the regular season, but playoff time, you need to play. What's fair is fair,
Right.
When it comes with that.
If you recruited, play another school who recruited.
All right, this is the 1A brackets for you folks watching on YouTube. Folks listening on radio, you can watch on YouTube every Saturday. Murphy goes to Elkin, the 4 at the 1 seed, after winning last night. Both teams, Murphy beating Thomas Jefferson, Elkin, Andrews. And then Mitchell will go to Robbinsville. So Chalk holds
Murphy
in the 1A.
and Robbinsville.
Does that sound familiar, Terry?
That's what I'm going to say for the
Yeah.
next round after this one.
Oh,
How
you're
did-
picking Murphy and
Yeah.
Robbinsville?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
How did Christ the King get a wild card?
I think 4 or 5 teams in that division did. Once you go to 9 teams in a conference, you get 3 automatic bids.
Okay.
They had 10 teams in their conference.
Okay.
You split into 1 AA. There's less 1A teams. Tom, you're not on your math this morning, are you?
They got beat. How many times did they
That
get
sounds
beat?
so silly.
60 to nothing. That's all I'm saying. Okay, a logic, the eye test. Mathematically, I guess they did not pass the eye test.
Don't forget
That's
to
all
add
I'm
56 to nothing to that.
They got beat 56 nothing. Go ahead and add
Right.
that one.
Right before the game in the
Right.
pregame show, I don't know if you guys would have heard it, listen to that part. I told Shannon that Mitchell could name their score in this one.
Yeah.
I've been told from an inside source that Christ the King may not be too good.
They're just happy they got invited.
All right. Let me pull up the 1 AA for you guys. This is Terry. This week we've got. See, this is how good we are. Y'all won't complain to me about not having one score. How about the NCHSAA, whatever they are? They don't even have a score. They don't even put in that Polk County beat North Stanley on their bracket. So if you folks looking online, Polk County advances. They will play North Rowan. Now, Chalk stayed in the games. 4 beat 5, 3 beat 6, and 2 beat 7. How about that Mount Airy game? Coach Pruitt told us that I think that it was down to their third quarterback for Mount Airy and still almost beat Pine Lake. Pine Lake goes to East Surrey. Polk County go to North Rowan. Terry, who you got in those?
North Rowan.
East Surrey.
East Surrey too? And Pine Lake Prep?
Yes, yes.
Or does the quarterback pull off the
come on.
upset?
No.
No?
I got to give it to East Surrey and my
Oh,
old
yeah.
teacher, Trent Loman.
That's what we talked about that yesterday. I was like, I'm about
It'll be a good
90%
game,
sure
though.
that Hunter
It'll be a good
has told me that like 9 times and I wasn't listening. Kind of sort of listening.
Yeah,
But I think
coached at Banny's for a while, and
right.
he always had a good system. Just sometimes you got to have the Jimmies and Joes. Now he's got the Jimmies and Joes up at East
Terry
Surrey.
East Surrey's won a lot of state championships, right?
Won what? He won the last one too
Yep.
before
Sure
COVID.
did.
He won 2019.
All right, let me pull up. This is the 2A. This is Shelby's and This is Shelby's bracket. Make sure I get it right. Shelby will be at Hendersonville in the 2A. They defeated Walkertown. Hendersonville defeated Bunker Hill. Terry,
That's no even contest. Shelby.
Hendersonville by 25, huh?
Probably. At least 3 touchdowns.
Oh, okay. You see Shelby over Hendersonville, Terry?
Yes.
Yeah,
the
Shelby had
road?
remember they had one of their defensive linemen go down. Omar Phillips might have sprained a knee, so they had a couple injuries in that game last night that might affect the outcome of the next game.
Hendersonville's undefeated this year.
Good
All right.
for him.
All right, Terry. Mount Pleasant at Mount Heritage, 3 versus 2. Chalk in the 2A.
You going up to Mount Heritage. Sorry, Mount Pleasant. Your season comes to an end.
Terry, is that an emotional pick?
No, that's not an emotional pick. That'd been tough for West Lincoln to go up to Mount Heritage. Is
Pretty good.
well, I'm gonna say they're good. Plus, it's a tough place to play up or down in that hole in behind the school.
Does that say Mount Pleasant?
Yeah, it was misspelled. We have interns here, Tom.
Okay. Mount Pleasant.
God, Mosey, Tom.
He is on top.
I'll tell you,
the
just
teacher
looking at
just came out
everything
to
over here.
him this morning, didn't it? If anybody needs their
They're work-proof.
if anybody needs their car deal graded this afternoon at Friendship after it goes, Tom can tell you how good of a deal you got.
No,
I'm guessing it's a great deal. Thomas and them are doing a good job up there. How about the 2AA? Bulldogs host a game. So Shelby, the 4 seed, wins and goes on the road. Burns, the 6 seed, wins and they get a home game.
Yeah, that's your.
That's
Never mind.
That's what happens when you draw, Terry. We actually talked about that last night. How was Kings Mountain a 3 seed? Because they drew. Draw out of
They
hat.
were random draws, right?
I mean, Kings Mountain should at least been the 2. I mean, they should have been the 2. If not
Again,
the 1.
just like you said a minute ago, there's no eye contact to see, and that hurts
exactly.
high school
Exactly.
football.
The eye test. You got to pass it. And definitely Kings Mountain passes anybody's eye test.
Yes.
Well, what do you, we kind of talked about that last night before the Catholic game. We'll get to that in just a minute in the 3A. Just remind me of that. But Burns wins at High Brighton 13-12. Maiden dominated by Salisbury. Oak Grove wins at Ashe County on the road. They go to North Davidson, a little bit shorter trip for them this week. Terry, Oak Grove and North Davidson.
North Davidson.
North Davidson. They're a
Yeah.
perennial competitor. And
Going
they're-
there and they'll be facing Burns.
All right, you got Bulldogs winning at home over the Salisbury Stakes.
Yeah. I mean, you don't get me wrong. I think a lot of people thought Maiden would give Salisbury a little bit better game than what they did. Some people even predicted Maiden to win.
Well,
but,
I had people asking me, can Maiden beat Shelby and Burns?
So they
I don't
just
know about
overlooked
that.
Salisbury.
I had more than one person ask me that, Terry.
I mean, a few years back, if you go 5-7 years back, Salisbury was pretty decent, but not. I mean, I don't think they're no powerhouse now.
well, they finished second in their conference, obviously, if they're in the 7 seed. So that's where they're sitting.
It's going to help Burns to be at home.
Yes.
It helps. It's going to help to be at home.
Travel it definitely always helps. All right, then over in the 3A, let's get over there real quick for you guys. Crest Falls at Catholic, and what I was mentioning a minute ago is it, Dennis was saying that Crest isn't afraid of Catholic. They went down there and won. I said, well, Dennis, these are kids. They don't know nothing about what you're talking about. They're thinking Catholic beat Kings Mountain, and then Kings Mountain beat us 28-7.
You mean the Crest players didn't listen to Dennis talk about what happened in 1972?
No, they didn't. They did not. They missed that one. But yeah, I was like, Dennis, I'm pretty sure that they're looking at Kings Mountain just beat us last week 28-7.
They weren't afraid.
No, absolutely not.
But what Catholic did is they adjusted, because what Ruff was able to do is find the crease in the interior of the line,
And he's just running straight.
Right.
And they had to start making him run wide. You can't let that guy run straight.
He's his straight line speed is.
And when they
when
when Catholic adjusted and basically clogged the middle, now he was able still to bounce outside and make some plays. But once they adjusted, Crest couldn't adjust to the adjustment.
I tell you who reminds me of.
That's what happened.
See if he was like Ruff running a little bit. And I know this guy's really, really fast. And I would not mean that, but Ruff is fast. Kind of a Chris Johnson type runner, where he's picking. You got to force him to the outside. Right. But if he has that crease, as soon as he's got it, he's gone. And you could see in that first touchdown when he crossed back over the field, the safety took one step.
You said Chris Johnson. I saw highlights of him a few days ago. It just popped up on Twitter, and I was like, that was a bad man.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. He's not that fast, but his style is what I meant. Where
I know.
Try to beat everybody out. And if
he's got a hole, he's gonna hit it 120 miles per hour, and there's no one that's gonna touch him. But if you have to push him outside, you better make sure you've got somebody collapsing in on him, because if he gets a little bit too far outside of your grasp, all he needs is this sliver, and he's going.
But
it's just that second level speed.
But Borders, Adams, and Ruff had way more speed than anyone Catholic had. But I think
they were able to just to box him in. They boxed him in, and Crest did not score in the second half. And that's when I think a lot of people are going to say, well, just Catholic won the chess match. They adjusted, and Crest couldn't deal with the adjustments, and Catholic won the game.
Defensive wise, you think they lost some? Do you think they were winded or any at all? The way the game
it's hard to say, because Crest forced them and got the fumble after they got the field goal blocked. I just think it was a pressure situation. It's harder to play defense in a pressure situation. And I am going to give the Catholic coaches some credit, because they let Crest run the ball down to 2 minutes before they punted. And I was like, they just messed up. They got a run-heavy offense. They only have 2 minutes to go 70 yards. And by God, they went all the way down the field, rushing the ball, and scored with 5 seconds left to go.
Right.
I mean, it was just. That. I will say this, and after I got done, I said, "Well, that's why I'm in the broadcast booth, because I would have called my timeout and probably left Crest a minute, and they would have went down and scored and tied it, gone into overtime." But I just want to say that I'm not saying that Crest did a bad job. I'm just saying that Catholic's job was masterful.
Right.
They did a great job.
Well, Terry, you can kind of speak to this as far as playing Catholic. To me, watching them and preparing for them as a coaching, it's almost like just exactly like playing South Point for the most part. Is that they're going to run that offense. They're running each play. It's assignment football. And what happens, Tom, in those situations is one guy misses his assignment, thinking I'm going to make a play. I'm going to do this, or they do something different, and the next thing you know, you get a big play. Yeah. You got to get two touchdowns ahead of them and stay.
Yeah,
and Catholic's not going to mess up when the game's on the line. They're going to continue to do what they have done.
Only one turnover, and Terry, no penalties.
I mean,
it's a bigger.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now that right there, that's when you say, how does the home team not have penalties in a playoff game? That's the one that you worry about. Like, oh yeah, they're so good.
But Crest had 3. Kicked it out of bounds on a kickoff. That's not arguable. One pre-snap penalty, and they got an unsportsmanlike penalty because with about 10 seconds, it looked like Paul Neal had scored.
So those are the only 3 flags in the game.
But it looked like Paul Neal had scored, but they're letting the scrum push, and the clock's running.
Right.
And they probably ran out another 6 seconds. Then the referee came in and said touchdown. Now, it's probably academic at that point anyway, but the Crest coaches wanted more time on the clock, didn't get it, got flagged. And that penalty didn't really hurt him that bad. They kicked it into the end zone, got a touchback. But it was really, you might just say that the refs were letting a lot of it go, letting them play a little bit more physical.
You just said there's no holdings.
There was no unsportsmanlike.
You call holding on every play, not one in the game.
I know. Yeah.
Especially in high school. These kids
Yeah.
are taught to hold much from the.
But one thing Catholic does is they'll go with that power formation and they'll throw out of it. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
you don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they'll have all those extra tight ends and there they go. You know, so I mean, the quarterback I think was a little worried about the crest pressure. Fuller and Hall and a few of them, you know, hit him pretty hard a few times, and I think he was letting it go a little. He was overthrowing receivers, which tells me he's not waiting. You know, he needs to wait another second. So they got to tighten that down a little bit for their next game. But I tell you, discipline, running the football, you know, coaching adjustments. You just have to give them credit for doing.
They're not
going to
beat themselves.
Correct.
All right, guys.
And that's what happened last year against Kings Mountain. They did not beat themselves. They
Well-
kept on waiting on Kings Mountain to make a
Right.
mistake.
So that in the 3A real quick before we finish up here on high school, we've got so Kings Mountain wins. Where's my sheet of paper? Oh, I'm looking right at it. Kings Mountain wins over J.M. Robinson. They will host Monroe next week. We've seen Monroe in the 2A and 3A. AC Reynolds here last year. Kings Mountain had to beat AC Reynolds to get to Catholic. This year, Catholic will have to beat AC Reynolds to get to Kings Mountain. So, do the Mountaineers win over Monroe, Terry?
Yes.
And AC Reynolds hosting Catholic.
No, I'm sorry. Charlotte Catholic wins.
All right. Now, this is the controversial
Rematch.
play of the night.
Yeah.
Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Terry, is this an incomplete pass or a fumble? Have you seen the play yet?
No.
Is this Burns?
No. This is the West Lincoln
Yeah.
play where the quarterback will go to his left on the 5-yard line. He'll do like a little jump pass to the running back. Now, is the running back behind the 5 when he catches it? It's just a simple question. And here we go. Folks watching online, YouTube, quarterback, run a little speed option, jumps. He fumbles. West Lincoln jumps on it. It was 4th down anyway.
What'd they call?
They call, Tom, incomplete pass. Now, if you'll watch, not a single referee calls incomplete pass. Now, Hunter, you can probably see it better here with your eyes. This ball, to me, is clearly
Going backwards.
behind when he catches it. One-handed
Yeah,
there,
yeah, you
behind
can see
the
it there.
5.
Yeah.
Terry, y'all got rooked last night by that call because here's what happens. Watch this. Does any ref say incomplete? I'm watching the ref on that side spotting the ball. The back judge says nothing. The ref says nothing. The guy standing here next to us says nothing. Nobody says anything about incomplete pass. Then there's a meeting on the field, Tom, and it's incomplete. Now, you can't call as a referee incomplete if you didn't see incomplete, can you, Terry?
You're
After
not
a
supposed
play.
to.
That's like,
Now wait a minute. That was 4th down anyway.
I think.
So West Lincoln was going to get the ball anyway. So what's
or
it matter?
third? No, or it might have been 3rd down.
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
100% sure. The West Lincoln was celebrating. That's why I thought it might have been 4th. I'm probably wrong on that one.
They were celebrating because they thought they got a fumble.
Right.
recovery.
They got the fumble. That's what it was. I'm sorry for misspeaking there, folks. But
And
yeah,
then they scored on the next play. Mount Pleasant scored on the next
Yes.
play. Okay.
I can show you that one if y'all want to. But it's not. I mean, it's pretty decent replay. But this right here, there's the quarterback leaving the 5. The defender's standing on the 5. So unless that ball goes through his face or chest, which I'm pretty sure it didn't, that's a backwards pass. That is a lateral. Terry, what do you think?
I agree.
That's it.
That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
What can you say?
I know, right?
There's 6 of you. One of you's got to see it.
Not a single one of them right now is saying. What about the meeting after though? Like, that's what I don't.
I think
get.
they're all looking at each other like,
Right.
make the call. Make the call.
And it turns it to the home team keeps the ball.
Hmm.
Incomplete pass on a pass in the backfield.
Well, I mean, if you go against the home team right there, you're going to have a lot of
There's
rushes.
nothing to go against. Everybody saw the ball hit the ground, Terry.
That's all I'm going to say.
Everybody saw the ball hit the ground in the stadium. Incomplete pass. Look, you can even watch the other team's sideline. They knew it was a fumble. Not a single one of them said incomplete. Watch the other team's sideline. One guy was like, "Oh darn!"
I mean,
he
you
jumped
can
up.
tell. You can tell.
Look,
that
not
ball-
a single person on that side is doing incomplete. Not a single person. This is a missed call.
You can
State
tell the
UO
ball.
West
You can
Lincoln.
tell the ball's going backwards too if you just watch where the quarterback's shoulders are facing when he's throwing the ball that way.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
basically looking back at the sidelines.
His back was.
Yeah, I'm
to
looking
the
at it. I'm
ball.
looking at his back.
That's tough. That's tough for West Lincoln. That's tough because they really did They were behind the 8 ball when they came out. I believe they lost their first 2 games by like 3 points and came back and won all those games in a row to get in the playoffs.
Terry,
And
I'm
then-
sorry for that
10 to
salt in the
6
wound.
and
Yeah.
21-20
Yeah.
at the start of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough, and they won a lot of games. I'm going to tell you what, it's another team. West Lincoln doesn't beat themselves either. I watched them play. They churn out first downs, and they play good defense, and just hate they came up a little bit short. But like you said, I guess they missed an extra point, and that was the difference in that call.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
well, I mean, yeah, that call helps a lot too. But in high school, I mean, I've been, and we've talked about this millions of times. I go to Shelby, and you'll see 5 guys out there kicking field goals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I understand you just got to go get them. It's to get them to come out, to try.
And Burns
and it hurts you when you get into the playoffs
and Burns made a change
because sometimes your games are going to come down to that.
Yeah, Burns made a change, and they started letting Jeter kick the extra point. He might have missed one last night, though. I think, what was the score, 14-12?
13-12.
13-12, yeah, he hit a second extra point.
Yeah.
He was 10 for 10 against RS Central. So that made the difference. You got to, like you said, Terry, you got to have somebody kick the extra point. It sounds so simple.
It does sound simple.
But it's not
Special
in high
teams,
school.
a third of the game.
It's
Yeah.
not. I wouldn't say it's a whole third of the game, but the impact on the game is a third, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. If you get within the 20-yard line,
yeah.
even you have somebody,
You can tell a West Lincoln graduate was tweeting at the West Lincoln game for us last night after a horrible missed fumble call that was ruled an incomplete pass. Mount Pleasant gets gifted a touchdown. I want to thank Jason for working hard and going on way to Mount Pleasant last night. I mean, it's. I tell you what, you guys have some good highlights. Terry Hewitt here is the first time I've really got to see some good shots of him. Looks like a pretty good runner, pretty good football player. Big. How big is he?
which one?
12 here, or ain't that Hewitt?
Oh, daggum Mason.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great kid too, y'all.
I mean, just watch him come around the
yeah.
end right here. Like, even as a defender, you're not going to tackle him heads up that way. And I've got another fantastic
And
shot.
I know a lot of people thought that I've read from this past week, they gave West Lincoln an edge on this game on account of him. you know. So
Well, here's a long run from him. This is a pretty good shot too, folks. We got highlights on What's Up Shopper, Twitter, and KDC Broadcasting. This is Mount Pleasant bringing him down right in front of Jason here at the 15-yard line. So you can see how he's bigger and taller than all of his linemen. So, like I said,
What year
big
is
kid
he?
there.
this is it.
Is it?
Yeah.
I was about to say, I believe
Yeah.
I remember covering him, I think a year or two ago with, I was doing one of the games with
Oh, yeah.
Jason at West Lincoln. And I looked at him, I said, with his size and just watching him during warm-ups, I said, I know you guys are committed to the run, but by God, I'd let this boy throw the ball more.
Yeah, he can throw. And I mean, the biggest thing him last year when they played Shelby, he's the one that broke away for the long run,
Mm-hmm.
against Shelby. And then when you're playing Shelby and nobody can catch you, you got pretty decent speed.
Yeah.
All right, for you folks watching at home, I'm bringing a special highlight to you. This is not a touchdown score and play, but this is the West Lincoln and Mount Pleasant game. Jason standing there about the 2-yard line.
Does he get hit?
Oh, this is a fantastic. Oh, it's in our living room too, folks. If you folks watching, walk up to your screen and put your face up close and feel like you're standing there on the field. Okay, I'm telling you, get ready. Here we go. This is Mount Pleasant throwing it down the sideline. Terry, your safety here makes a fantastic play. Receiver makes a better play holding on to it, actually. So here we go. Little fade route down the corner. Boom! In the living room.
Oh my gosh! Wow!
He did.
And held on to it.
Wow!
Wow.
Great camera work by Jason. I want to appreciate
Jeez.
from Mount Pleasant to throwing it right to him. So we got a
They
good
put
shot
that,
of
They
it.
put that right at
Look at
it. That quarterback said,
Ugh.
I think
Clean hit,
Jason's
too.
on my
Yeah.
team.
Didn't lead with the head.
Overall,
hit him in the
fantastic
chest.
football play. They gave each other 5
Sure
when they got
did.
up.
Yeah.
This
Good
is my
football
highlight
play.
of the night. This is the second highlight we did. I'm like, good night. Go ahead of us here, guys.
Good Lord.
Boom. You folks
Listen,
listen on the
I'll tell you
radio.
what, though. Catch was great. I think
Yeah.
throw was just as good.
All of it. Everything about that play was a good
That
football
ball was
play.
put on a string.
Other than the
right
corner,
where it
other than the
needs to
corner getting
be.
beat, Terry. That's the everything else was good. That's just me being a.
He got caught
Okay.
staring back at the quarterback. He
Yeah.
wasn't paying attention to where that wide receiver was going.
And this is West Lincoln. Hewitt finding a receiver here about the 5-yard line. So Rebels, their season's over. Crest Charger season's over. Congratulations on good seasons for both teams. All right, we got to take a break. JP, you ready? He's sitting up. JP is ready to rock. He's got a biscuit in him, folks. Brought to us by Mitchum's Kitchen and Terry Reinhardt. We'll be back in a few moments on KDCBroadcasting.com.
Okay, class, listen up. Do not buy a car without a warranty. Just don't do it. At Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, we have lifetime warranty on new and used cars. That's right, lifetime warranty on new and used cars. Unlimited time, unlimited miles. And through the end of this month, we're offering up to $4,000 over Kelley Blue Book value on your trade. So one more time, Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram has lifetime warranty on new and used cars, and you'll find us in Forest City.
To get up in the shadows of beautiful Crowder's Mountain at Crowder's Mountain Golf Course. Play and ride 18 Monday through Friday for $28 and $25 after 2 p.m. On weekends and holidays, play and ride for $38 and $33 after 2 p.m. Monday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for $18, and seniors play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. For your tee time, call 704-734-0383 for Crowder's Mountain Golf Course.
The Chicken on the Run is back at the Cherryville Country Club. Now the Cherryville Country Club is offering their famous Chicken on the Run to go special. You get 8 pieces of chicken, 1 quart of potatoes with gravy, 1 quart of green beans, and bread, all for $25. Call your order in on Saturdays before 5 p.m., 704-435-6597. Pick your chicken up in the Pro Shop on Sundays, 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Again, get your chicken to go from the Cherryville Country Club each and every Sunday.
Take advantage of a special offer on the versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain.
For all of your printing needs, see Modern Printing of Cherryville. Get your full-color business cards at Modern Printing of Cherryville, along with your full-color brochures. Get multicolor letterhead and multicolor envelopes. Just call 704-435-6112 or email at modern_printing@ymail.com. Modern Printing, located 902 East Main Street, Cherryville. Open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. That's Modern Printing of Cherryville.
And we're back on Saturday morning sports talk.
We're back?
We're back.
All right. Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina. They're bringing you this broadcast. We appreciate your support. It's 828-919-3001 if you want to give them a call. And Friendship Nissan at 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina. 828-245-1661. Call our friends at Friendship.
And we got some great friends.
That's right. Put down your tax return on a new Jeep or Nissan.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Saturday morning sports talk. Kevin Hayes.
Or Dodge.
Or Dodge.
Or Chrysler.
Or Chrysler.
Just keep going down the list that they got.
Many products.
Oh, do they have they got a used lot as well? Probably over there.
I'm sure they have.
So they've got all sorts of things over there.
Right, and if you need a reference, just contact my brother Danny and his girlfriend Carrie. They are both customers at Friendship, and they are very pleased with the service they receive. So good people at Friendship.
I've just received word that Mr. Terry Reinhardt and his truck has hit 280,000 miles. And ladies and gentlemen, do not be a Terry Reinhardt. Luckily, he's got a reliable vehicle.
Friendship.
But
Do you have that many miles?
if you have over 280,000 miles, I would consider an upgrade. And I will point you directly to our friends at Friendship Nissan.
The money he saved on tires, he could put down a fairly fine down payment. Probably at this point, Terry, a Dodge Viper.
I think
that Jeep Gladiator you keep asking for.
I think Terry is Egyptian. He's just going to be buried, entombed with all his money.
He needs an orange Dodge Challenger is what he needs over there.
Oof. Creamsicle color.
Big week this week. Big week in baseball. Opened up last week, and we're getting into the season, getting started. Teams are starting to set ground. Terry is excited about a no-hitter this week. But the biggest news of the week, and it's been predicted that this was going to happen for about 2 years now. A-Rod and J-Lo split up.
Jesus God.
Geez,
And Jose Canseco has been telling us. I've been telling on this show for at least about a year now, haven't I not? The Canseco has been telling everybody this was going to happen. And then Jose and J-Lo have split up now. So I know that's what everybody
That really changes my world.
Wow.
Well,
The
it
baseball
might, Terry,
world is shocked.
because he turned around and binge bought the Minnesota Timberwolves, so it may.
Yeah, he
did.
Well, him and J-Lo were trying to get on that ownership group that was buying the Mets,
Right.
And that fell through.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I guess he's been wanting to try and get into a sports franchise, and maybe Minnesota was probably just the next best thing. But and I know I'm not going to basketball with this, but I'm just saying. Now D Wade's got an ownership stake with Utah, with the Jazz. So a lot of these ex-athletes are starting to get into ownership stakes. If you make that kind of money, you can. I mean, I would love to get in on an ownership stake of a sports team, but Lord knows I don't have a couple $1 million I can just throw in.
Well, you need more than a couple. This is A-Rod. This is A-Rod money, not
Oh, I know. I'm
not
just
Mark
saying.
Lemke money.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'll tell you, celebrity relationships are pretty low on my hierarchy of things I'm concerned
But
about.
A-Rod is a Hall of Fame baseball player. Jose Canseco. I told you last week about the aliens, didn't I? If they come down, Terry, if they landed in 1989, would they not think that Jose Canseco might be the most perfect specimen of a human being? If they come down and landed and looked at him hitting home runs in 85, stealing 40 bases on the cover of all these men's magazines. I'm just telling you. What
Is this some kind of man crush you have on Jose Canseco?
He's just hilarious as all get out.
He's a quack.
I was wondering, he was asking me, and I'm like, what am I supposed to say?
He's a quack.
It's hilarious as all get out. But I'm just saying, it's like,
do you
if
share
they
the
landed,
man crush, Terry?
honestly, if they landed in
It's a man crush Saturday.
1989.
1889.
If aliens came in 1989 and they watched baseball and they saw Barry Bonds out here and Jose Canseco and McGuire, and then they come back now, hey, let's see Jose and Barry, and you're like, a little bit different now. So everything's changed. They would be more shocked than we are that we saw them, probably. That Jose is not a national hero.
If I knew that's when they come back just to see this again, I probably would be shocked.
Well, they come back to
play
LeBron in a video game, I guess, or however that worked out in the new one. Anthony Edwards again. He said he doesn't even know who A-Rod is.
Yeah, I saw that interview, and I wanted to die laughing.
Get tying it all in a little bit, guys. All kinds of A-Rod news this week. All right,
I was like, I had to rethink. I was like, wait a minute, how old is Anthony Edwards again? 19?
Yeah.
And you don't know who Alex Rodriguez is?
Well,
but then I
A-Rod
had to think, I'm like,
different sport.
I was like, my God, wait a minute. There's kind of an age gap here I'm not realizing. I'm almost 25. This is a 6-year gap.
So
he didn't get to watch A-Rod.
So Hunter's getting at the age now, Hunter. You're about to realize from 25 to 30, there's a gap between the people behind you, and then you're just
I am realizing.
I hate all you guys. We have nothing in common. We're only 5 years
I
apart.
am realizing.
Yeah.
My birthday.
What are y'all talking about?
My birthday's Monday, and I'm gonna hit 25. And if I have to hear one more person say, "Well, you've reached a quarter of a century," and then another person that says, "Only 5 more years to 30," I'm gonna be like, "All right, I've had enough."
Oh, what a tragedy!
I know,
Reaching
right?
a
What a
You reached a
tragedy.
whole quarter of a century.
Listen, reaching a quarter of a century is better than reaching a third of 75. So you just, silver lining there.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of us are near the half-century mark or past it.
Tom,
Yeah.
I just have to cope with this, okay?
Terry's more.
I'm just
Murphy
coping
Bulldog
with
than
Only
it is.
somebody of your generation would say, "I need a coping mechanism."
Yeah,
coping.
to be honest,
I'm
Hunter,
coping with turning 25.
I would give anything to go back to 25. I'm 29, so yeah,
Only 1 more year to 30, JP.
Hit the Wayback
I'm
Machine.
aware.
How old are you? 26? I'd give anything to be 23 and a half again.
Well,
I go back.
Y'all, it's almost like watching the NBA when I watch Luka play all the time, and then all of a sudden they mention he's 22 years old.
Young.
Stupid.
Yeah.
To me, it's like he's been in the NBA for 10 years.
That's like right now in
You know?
baseball
How
with Ronald Acuna. He is 22 years old.
Yeah.
I think 23.
You know
and
what I
you
can-
know his name.
Right.
Is he
Right.
the one
That's
y'all
that's the-
underpaid by like $100 million?
Yeah.
Here's another one.
Atlanta did good.
How is
Good deal.
how is Sam Darnold only 23 years old? Seems like he's been in.
Yeah,
the
he
NBA.
took over NFL
Yeah.
franchise at 20.
I guess because he played at USC.
Like they
when he was
handed him the
15.
keys and said, "Run the Jets,"
Wow.
basically, or the offense at 20.
Yeah, I mean it's just amazing. But
Let's see. So Major League Baseball this week. Let's look at the standings.
Kansas City in first.
Kansas
in
City
first,
Royals.
Tom.
everybody's about 5
place.
Everybody.
Well, I'm gonna pull.
We're
Terry,
above 500.
Terry, I'm gonna put this on
way
the,
above 500.
on the screen.
because I think he got Corona out
So
of a few games.
so everybody can see.
They've only played 11
on our
games.
show, Terry, the first place Royals were on our show this year.
Enjoy it while you can.
Enjoy it.
I can't talk. I can't because
Y'all got a lot of talent to be. But now, Atlanta will come back. I'm not saying that because
I think we will. Just
once the season starts turning hot,
we
y'all
got
going to be fine.
3 out of our 5 rotating pitchers are injured.
Yeah. And y'all will be
Soroka,
fine.
Freed, and Smiley.
Our biggest thing for Kansas City, and I like mentioning them right now since we're in first, our biggest thing for them is they signed Perez to a 4-year deal.
Uh-huh.
You got to have a leader, just
Yeah.
like Draymond Green is at Golden State. You got to have a leader, and Perez is our leader at
Okay.
Kansas City. When you have got a steadfast, it's like Molina at St. Louis. When he's there, everything runs through him.
You mean
Just-
maybe the best catcher ever?
Yeah, that's
You're
what I'm
comparing
saying.
who
I'm
to
just
him?
saying, though, that's how it is. I mean, you've got to have a leader.
Well, Kansas City's in first. Angels are over 500. Hunter, how much money would you have lost by now if someone had bet you that?
We
13
beat them.
games in.
We beat them 2
I
out of
would
3
have
times.
lost a ton of money, to be honest.
So Angels, 2 of the 5 losses are to the Royals.
But I want to say this.
Got that
2 out
right.
of 5, yeah. But I'll say this, though, about the Angels. If you look just based off of, Twitter reactions and what social media is showing, Mike Trout's not the face of them right now. It's all about Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, that's it.
He is the show
Well,
right now.
I mean, yeah. He only throws at 95 and hits home
And
runs.
hits about 420-foot home runs.
Now, they've scored the most runs in the American League besides the Boston Red Sox, who scored 75.
They're
Angels.
9-1 in their last 10.
Who, Red Sox?
The Red Sox.
Yes, they are.
Now, the real thing that's
Lost
standing...
their first 3.
Yeah.
Now, before the season, I read on the internet, remember we did these predictions from the internets, and they said that the winners were going to be the Yankees,
Yeah, I was about to get to
who
that.
are in last.
Uh-huh.
It said the White Sox, who are in third under 500, and they picked the Angels, who are in second. In the National League, they picked the Braves, who are under 500.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they pick the Cubs? I think they did, and they're in last.
I thought they...
It wasn't the Cardinals. One of them picked the Cardinals, the other one didn't. We did 2. One of them did. One of them was the Cardinals. They're
I'm
under
surprised the
500.
Reds are doing as hot as they are.
Well,
The
that's,
Reds
yeah.
are pretty good.
After they got rid of Bauer. Yeah.
Well, the Reds have 85 runs. If y'all remember, that's what they do in Cincinnati.
And I'm going to tell you what...
They score runs. They can't.
And I'll tell you what, the one at the bottom don't surprise me. It don't surprise
And
me.
then the Dodgers are 12.
The only one that surprises me out of that at the
12 and
bottom
2.
is San Francisco's in second. But
Okay.
we're still early,
They said-
Everybody's playing for second.
Yeah, and they said the Dodgers the best start ever by a World Series defending champion, 12-2.
It's not
Well,
bad.
That's
Make
what
sure.
happens when you can buy wins. But, I mean, hey. What can I
Cardinals
say?
one game under 5.
With the Yankees struggling so much, you think it's because Boone's out? They're going to be without their manager for a substantial amount
Hey.
of time.
Makes a difference.
I mean, I don't know if the guy that they've got in there's maybe putting the lineup in the right
Yeah.
situation, maybe not starting the right pitchers on the
Yep.
right days.
Yep.
I know you got extra coaches on the coaching staff, and Boone is not technically away from the team like indefinitely, but I just don't know. Maybe that's why they're off to a slow start. But eventually, how slow of a start can you get off to before you're in too big of a rut to come back from? I know it's a 162 game season, but still, what was it, Kevin? 2 years ago, we buried the Boston Red Sox after they lost like 10 or 11 straight.
Honestly, I think it was after 13 games.
Yes,
they were
buried
3
them,
and 8,
and they never made it
or
back.
something like that, or 3
they
and
never
11.
made it back.
It might have been
I've
15 games. I
always
said that's done.
said-
That was 10% of the season.
In Major League Baseball, see where you're at when you get through 50 games. If you're 500, you got a chance. If you're below 500, you're done. You're not going to make it.
I mean, I know a bunch of Yankees fans. 'Cause
Tommy's
they're
right, a ton of
everywhere,
teams are
and they
hovering
are
around
quiet.
500.
They
So
are
almost
quiet.
everybody's within 2. Washington's are bad. Cubs are bad under 3 games under. Diamondbacks and Rockies. But other than that, everybody's 2 games or 3 games under 500 or above. Of course, the Dodgers. Quick numbers on Terry. I know you weren't here last week, so I'm going to read you my Cardinals numbers. 17 straight opening day starts as catcher for Yadier Molina, longest streak in history. If Wainwright doesn't miss a start, this is one I like. They will tie as the most pitcher catcher appearances in Major League history if Wainwright doesn't miss any starts this year. Then Terry, let's see the hits list I was given to Tom last week. Here's the top 5 singles hitters in Cardinals history: Stan Musial, 2,200; Lou Brock of 2,000. Ozzie Smith is 3rd in singles in team history. Talk about his hitting. People say Red Shandies is 4th, and Yadier Molina is 5th in the singles. Now Braves yesterday, Hunter, I was listening to the game. Got 2 complaints.
2 complaints?
No, I got 1 complaint. One's funny.
Okay.
The complaint is, I can't remember which announcer it was. And if Nelson's listening, he'll know. He threw the Cardinals. He didn't throw the Cardinals under the bus. They were talking about other baseball divisions. And when they got to Central, it was like, they're just not any good. And there's just hope somebody will emerge from it. It was just basically throwing them under the bus. And then I get this morning and look at y'all's record. Y'all are 6-8.
Right.
What's he talking about?
We're just not right now.
Let's throw the whole Central under the bus, Tom. When in that division, we'd be in 4th place.
Now I will say this: 100%. What has cost us these games is pitching. 100%, because our team can score. I've seen us multiple times after our starting pitcher has got us in a rut, at least be able to come back within 1 run or tie. Dansby Hale the other day had a walk-off run to win the game. But that was our problem last year. And we still obviously were able to come out first in the division. But our problem last year after Soroka went down was getting the starting pitching rotation right. And even with that, we would have moments where we would have to be the I know they used to call them the cardiac cats, but we'd have to be the cardiac Braves.
All right,
we'd have to just come back and miraculously walk off in the 9th.
You're right. Here's your cause for concern, Hunter. You're giving up 4.1 runs a game. The Mets are giving up 3. That's when I say Yadier to the next guy or whatever. It's a whole, you're making the playoffs at 3. You're not at 4.
Right.
So you guys can't fall behind too far.
No.
But you're only 2 games out right now. It's not like that's anything.
I mean, we got to remember, it's still early.
Right.
What are we, 11 games in?
Yeah. Well, y'all played 14, I think.
14? Okay, well, so not even quite
now,
15.
The other thing.
It's not a 60-game season this time either. We got to go the full stretch.
Braves pitcher Kyle Wright last night, I told Nelson on the phone that he did something for the Braves for the first time in 113 years.
What?
One Braves pitcher hit 4 batters.
I don't like
113 years. They hadn't hit, one guy hasn't hit 4 batters. And Kyle Wright hit 4 batters. Get this, 4 batters in 4 1/3 inning. He struck out the last guy he faced.
Sure, because he's probably jumping out of the box.
In 4 1/3. Coach took him out with a 4-2 lead.
Wow.
Hit 4 people, gave up 2 runs in 4 innings, got took out.
What's the old phrase? He's wild enough to be effective.
Yeah, he was.
Yep.
Listen,
Wild
Charles
Kyle
Sheen
Wright,
was up there, fired him in there.
I saw Kyle Wright last year in the playoffs.
What year did Sheen play for?
And he did
I know
not.
I can't remember Dorn's. What?
He did not impress me at all. With Soroka being
Y'all
down.
need Pedro Serrano this year, don't you?
Soroka being down hurts.
Can't hit.
Freed being down hurts. Smiley being down hurts. If you've got a 5-pitcher rotation and you're missing 3 of them, I mean, what are you going to do, Yeah. We just got to lean on Ian Anderson whenever he comes out onto the mound because he's a dang good player. And the fact that Ronald Acuna is absolutely on fire right now. It's like people forget. Tatis comes out of nowhere last year for not even a full season, and they forget that there's a better player in the National League than him, and his name is Ronald Acuna Jr., and he's just putting it on a show at this point. I mean, I preached that all this offseason and last year whenever Tatis, after a 60-game season, not even a full year, got a 13-year monstrous almost $400 million deal. I was like, well, what has he done? What has he done? Like, he might pan out, and he might be very good. But after that, San Diego, you stupid paying Machado and him that kind of money.
Well,
Ball, it's funny, and then we're talking about the kid who's hit 4 last night. But when I was coaching, and I'm going to go back to Dixie Bells, and that's 13 through 15-year-old group, and we were playing in a district over here in Kings Mountain. They kept crowding the plate, and I finally walked out to our pitcher because she kept having to throw it outside. It was continuously outside. She was trying to get strikes. And I finally walked out there and told her, hit one. And I mean, she could throw it. And she was like, yeah, but I don't want, and I said, hit one. They'll all back off. You know, and I mean, you hate to have to go out there and tell your pitcher to do that.
Right.
But, you know,
Youth.
I'm telling you, I'm sorry.
Throw it her head. Throw it her head.
I'm sorry.
No mercy.
We're gonna get.
It's like
we're gonna get to inside corner here eventually.
It's like the sensei in Karate Kid. Do you have a problem with that?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Terry's the guy
No
from,
mercy.
from dodgeball throwing the wrenches at the
That's
kids.
right.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
I mean, you hate to do that.
Is this necessary?
I will,
necessary.
now, Terry, I will say that I've had, not tell me, but I've heard coaches tell other pitchers that were wild and were throwing really fast, throw your first one to the backstop and warm-ups.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anyone say he hit them.
I haven't heard anybody in a 12-year-old Dixie youth game throw at her temple.
I'm sorry. I did not say so at her temple.
Throw at the temple.
I'm sorry.
He said roll it at her
It's a
ankles,
whole
Tom.
different story from coaching
Hey, listen,
to
just
umpiring.
put it really strong in her
You know.
thigh and she'll back
Oh,
off.
my
all right?
Well,
gosh.
the game started with the first three batters she faced. She walked because they were crowding the plate. And I told her, I said, you hit one, they'll quit that.
Yeah, the way to word that is, if you hit one, they'll quit that. Not go hit one.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't approach it like that.
Fire on your
Hit
hip.
one. Let it go. Fastball inside. They'll back off.
All right. So Acuna this year is batting .429. He's on pace 100. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
81 homers, 185 RBI.
I know he's gonna cool off at some point.
Maybe he
but,
might.
But I'll be honest, damn, this is fun to watch.
He's,
all right.
he's on pace to beat Bond's record right now. Which
And
is only
people
7
don't
home
and
runs.
people don't realize either. Dude's fast as lightning. Did you see him beat out that infield fly to the second baseman on a tag up from third? Jesus, I mean, he's just stupid fast, uber athletic. I know that he's just an outfielder, so a lot of people won't really give him a lot of props just being out there. And they've moved him over too. He's in right field. He's not even a center fielder, but crazy athletic. And he doesn't, when you look at him, like Tatis, when he comes to the plate, like a Judge and like a Mike Trout and them, like he's big. Like they're big. Acuna comes to the plate, he doesn't look big. He looks barely bigger than Albies, who's probably my size. But he's got so much power in his bat. It's enjoyable to watch, but I put this tweet out after he did it because everybody was raving about all the numbers he is and the multiple home run games he's having. I was like, that's great, but nobody in the baseball world really cares unless you win.
Yeah,
like you won't get voted as like an MVP if you don't win. Now Mike Trout does that every other year, but
didn't Acuna get hit last year when he was doing such a terror? Did somebody hit him last year?
I don't
or
know
the
if
year
it was
before
last year. It was the year before. It was the Marlins pitcher. They
that's what
they
I'm saying.
beamed him.
Yeah.
because he went yard on him his first at bat because we know he leads off.
Yeah.
So he went yard on the guy, and then the next guy came up, they just beamed him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're too good, they come at you instead of throwing the ball where it should be.
I was looking at some other stats. How much you say they paid Acuna?
Acuna, when
He
they
won 100
paid
million,
him, it was
10
before. It was like $100 million for like 10 years.
Yeah.
He is on a very nice deal.
How much did Lindor get from the Mets?
Well, like 325, almost 400 million.
You know what Lindor's batting right now?
Probably like
222.
You gonna try getting paid $30 million, $45 million a year?
Yeah.
Think about baseball.
20.
You got calluses on your hands every day. You got to get up, go play at 100 degrees. Hey, it's $40 million. Oh, my back hurts today.
Yeah, but if you look at Lindor's stats, in 2015 he hit 313, but if you look at his numbers, they kind of continued to decline, and now he's batting 222. It's early yet, it's early. He can get high, he can get hot, but I'm gonna tell you, before you sink a bunch of money in a guy like that,
it's hard to get up.
I think the biggest thing though on him, and not just his average, which it should come up.
Yeah,
it's got to.
Yeah,
but his defense. He's going to play defense.
Yeah, he does play. He plays great defense.
Acuna is 10-year, 124.
But
we paid Acuna and Albies and those young guys early before all these other guys started asking for this crazy money.
I think
Acuna,
some people are going to start rethinking this.
Yeah, Acuna, if you go and ask him, he was thinking long term.
Well, he wanted to be in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's thinking long term, my family and everything when he signed his deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I don't think people realize 5 years is kind of long.
Think about 10.
That's what Lindor got. What, in 10 years?
Well, you pay
2
people
years
that-
is long. Look
You
at how our
pay
society is right
these
now.
players
We're-
that kind of
we're
money,
normal
though. It
year and a
has
half
to be a
ago.
10-plus year contract, or else
Crazy.
think about it. If you got a guy that's a 5-year, $300-something million deal, you're paying almost $60 million a year. That's ridiculous.
there's a difference, though, guys, and we all know if I come in and my name is Tatis or something like that, I'm going to get big money. But when you come in as Acuna and they don't know you, and they like, well, he might be good. He looks good. He plays good. But this guy was thinking about himself. He's also thinking about family. He's thinking about everything. Plus, this guy was amazed, hey, I am in Major League Baseball. I'm at the big time that I can get at, and I want it to be prolonged where I'm going to have a 10-year deal, where it's not just throw me out the back door in 3
You made
years
a
saying
good
we just
point.
can't afford you.
You made a good point talking about how with Acuna, sure, he was a very highly sought-after prospect, and obviously he was putting up numbers in the minor leagues. But the one prospect that everybody was higher on than Acuna was Swanson.
Yeah.
It was Dansby.
Oh, yeah.
Dansby was the one that they all said was going to be the next big thing, at least at the shortstop position in baseball. I mean, I think Seager's better than Dansby is out in L.A. We'll see what kind of money he gets paid because this is his final year of his contract out in L.A., and Dansby's is coming up too. But Acuna, for what he's doing, with Dansby considered the better of the two prospects when they were coming up, it's amazing. But it's just fun to watch. You got a guy that's going on this hot of a run. It's fun to watch, and of course, with it being the team that I root for, it makes it.
Acuna,
Even when you lose, it's like, well, he's still on fire,
Yeah. But you have to sit here like me. If I'm pulling for Acuna because he took a deal like that. He's not like the Tatis and the Harpers who want jackpot millions of dollars for and no more than what they're doing.
Yeah.
And and Lindor's the same way right now.
You better he called out Cleveland, basically called them a bunch of cheapskates and, all
Technically,
that.
the only one that's actually winning with that kind of contract is Mookie. Because he had he got a 10+ year deal with the Dodgers for $300 to $400 million.
I guess I'd say, look, man, if I'm gonna
I
pay you
know.
$30 million, send me more than 222.
That's exactly right.
So I got
I mean, more than that.
Acuna's leading baseball in total bases by 13, 53 to 40 is second place. That's how far he is in total bases. Just 10th in that is a full 20 bases.
What was
behind
it?
him.
I think we read one of the preseason things when they were talking about Atlanta. They said Acuna's going to be aiming for 40-40.
Yeah, he said he might. And I got the most important stat of all before we get a break here: WAR. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Acuna's first, and this team's under 500.
Mhm.
just however that works out.
Right.
Byron Buxton is second of the
I don't know who
Minnesota
that
Twins.
Okay.
They're in fourth. Now remember, this is wins over replacement. Acuna this year has accounted for 1.5 wins of your 6. He's helped you win 1.5. Just letting you know.
And when it's all said and done at the end of the year, what's a magic number for him? Like 10?
I don't know. Mike
11.
Trout's third. That's all you need to know.
Mike Trout.
Acuna, Buxton, and Trout are your top 3. Vladimir Guerrero is 4th in position. Justin Turner 5th. Gurriel 6th.
Vlad hit
Muncy
one to the
7th.
moon night or two ago, too.
And then 8th and 9th in WAR are 2 DH hitters, and that's when it's over with. That's the dumbest stat of all time. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. Talk NBA, NASCAR. We've got NFL and more on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Lifetime warranty on new and used cars at Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City. And now until the end of the month, Friendship in Forest City will offer up to $4,000 over Kelley Blue Book value on your trade. Guaranteed best prices on new cars, all used cars priced way below book value, and now all new and used cars have a lifetime warranty, unlimited time, and unlimited miles. We're simply not like any other dealer. Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram, we're located in Forest City.
The NASCAR Cup Series
Waving the green flag, and we are underway. Kevin Harvick's going to get away.
returns to the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Team Penske teammates getting at it hot and heavy for the #1 spot.
Richmond Raceway.
All he has to do is get through turns 3 and 4, back on the accelerator cleanly, and the checkered flag is in the air. Brad Keselowski wins the Richmond Raceway.
It's the Toyota Owners 400.
Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com. The Spring Fling is underway at Carolina Federal Credit Union in Cherryville. Now you can get $100 cash back when you refinance from another lender. Now financing up to 84 months for new and used auto loans. You can get 1.49% APR financing for new autos and 1.99% APR financing for used autos. Apply online at carolinafcu.org or call 704-435-0186. Carolina Federal Credit Union, 1200 East Church Street in Cherryville. They treat you like family because you are.
Take advantage of a special offer on the versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain. For your party, family gathering, or just a get-together of friends, get it catered by Hillbillies Barbecue and Steaks in Gastonia. Check out their party packs, including pork or chicken or beef with barbecue sauce, slaw, plates, cups, eating utensils, serving utensils, potato salad, buns, and sweet tea and ice. And delivery is available. For more information, call 704-824-8838. Hillbillies Barbecue and Steaks, 305 South Main Street in Lowell. Open Monday through Thursday, 11 to 9, Friday and Saturday, 11 to 9:30, and 11 to 3 on Sunday. Also call for employment opportunities that are now available.
And we're back on Saturday morning Sports Talk with Kevin.
Are we back, JP?
Yeah, we're back.
All right. Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram bringing you this broadcast this morning. They're located at 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-919-3001. And Friendship Nissan at 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661. Take your tax refund to Friendship. Get yourself a new ride, Terry.
I think it's time we considered testing JP for,
Testing?
I don't know, drugs or something.
Recreational drugs.
Yes, Tom. Recreational drugs. I mean, just anyone that talks and acts like that for, I went to bed later than you did.
I know.
He's got his mouth full of food right now.
Oh, he's full of food.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let that pass. He's full of Mitchum's
he's struggling right now.
Full of Mitchum's kitchen. I got it.
Oh, man.
Putting that food down.
Well, NBA playoffs standings real quick. Folks, we'll get Philadelphia is up 1 game on the Nets, 3 games on the Bucks, and then everyone else is in a scrum after that. 4th and 5th are the Hawks and Celtics tied. Half game behind them are the Knicks. 2 games behind them are the Heat, and 2.5 the Hornets. Then the Pacers at 3.5 behind them. Raptors probably should be out of it by now, and it looks like, well, they're the 10th seed. Never mind, we were just talking about that. So with that said, Hunter, everybody in the East is still alive.
Garbage. What? Oh, alive. Oh, I thought you were going to say they're all garbage.
They are. There
are 3 teams. I mean, that's it that can make the finals in the East. That's it. The rest of them, the other 5 teams that get in, congratulations. All right.
I only think 1 team in the East can make the finals.
Well,
Boston signed somebody yesterday.
Who?
Jabari Parker.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Averaging, yeah.
Breaking news.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not something, but he can score. He's shooting over 50%.
He averages what, 14 points per game on his career.
50%. So I mean, if somebody can score from underneath for us, that's what we're after.
Yeah, but that's not a big man.
No, it's not. It's just another scorer.
But I don't know what y'all are doing.
I don't know. I mean, we had our chance when Drummond come out and we didn't go get him. You know.
Oh, now
That's like the other night when we're playing the Lakers. Davis is not playing.
LeBron's
not playing. Drummond's not playing. There was somebody else that wasn't playing, and we were up by 27, and then we scrapped and finally held on to beat them by about 8. You know, but they closed it all the way to 4 or something like that.
The NBA regular season
means nothing.
It's just
I've always said
nobody
that.
cares. They don't play. Players take nights off. Like if you play,
I feel like Anthony Davis has been out for 3 months.
Well, I mean, just like I told people when we sat in here before and Boston was below Charlotte, I said, Psh, all you got to do is go on a 5-10 game win streak and you're back up there to the 3rd or 4th. And that's what the Boston has done. They've won 5 straight. They went on the road and they won 3 straight, one at Portland. They won at the Lakers. I mean, you know, and then all of a sudden they go from down here in the bottom up to 4th.
Yeah, but that's easier to do, I feel like, in the East.
Right.
In the
Well,
West,
that's what
I don't think you can do that. You have to hope to God people in front of you start falling off in the West. In the East, it's like, whatever. I know they're going to fall at some point in front of me. I just can't do it as well.
The problem with the West is this. You've got Utah up there and Phoenix up there, and everybody will sit right here right now and say, well, okay, they're not going to win it.
That's
you
exactly
go.
right.
That's what they're going to say because the Lakers, they don't have all their people playing wherever they're at, which is
Utah,
what, 5th? I think they're 5th.
They're 5th
Yeah.
right now and dropping.
That's what I'm saying. They're 5th, but there's nobody in the outside besides even the Clippers. They're not even going to pick them. They're going to say that the Lakers are it, and then everybody in front of them. If
Utah has
LeBron
held
and
the
them get
number
back,
1
they're
spot
fine.
all year, though. Utah has played consistent. The problem is I look at it as, do you remember when the Warriors went on that run to go 73-9?
Oh, yeah.
And they expended all their energy in the regular season that when it came down to the finals, people say that was really what led to their demise. They got tired, yada, 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 whatever.
I think it had more to do with their fearless leader
And kicking a guy in the you-know-what. But regardless.
Leadership, Tom.
Regardless.
Get kicked out of an NBA Finals game.
That's true.
And the next game.
Yeah,
Regardless, how many times have we seen where the one
Leadership.
seed, in whether it's the East or the West, they just don't make it? We've seen it multiple times. Now, last year, obviously, we had the 4-month hiatus with COVID, and the 1 seed actually made it in the Lakers. But you look at the Jazz, and I'm like, I think you're just, you're trying to stack up all these brownie points, but in the end, they're going to look at you and say, it really don't matter.
Failure.
It
That's what
don't
they're
matter.
going to say.
I mean, Donovan Mitchell's out right now because apparently he's got an ankle sprain off of that whatever happened yesterday.
Get this. All these players getting hurt are blaming the
condensed schedule. So are the general managers.
So we need to sit out more, Tom. They're asking to sit out more games.
How about this? Well, they won't do this because they'll know it'll affect the money they're making. I would have looked at them and said, well, you could just play less games.
I would be fine with that. I'm fine with a shorter, more
cut out 25 games on the season
because you got a lot of fluff and a lot of people are paying. Like I remember when I went down to watch Dallas play Charlotte. You sent me down there, Kevin, last year. I was like, I'm gonna go get to see Luka play. Oh, he doesn't play. You know what I mean? It's after a while.
We talk about that. We talk about it all the time. What was it? Stephen A. I don't agree with Stephen A. a whole lot, but he put out this video on Twitter, and it was when the 76ers and Brooklyn were getting ready to play a few nights ago. And you would think that was getting ready to be a really good marquee matchup because Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, obviously James Harden is hurt, against Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. And this could have been Eastern Conference Finals matchup. And Kevin Durant says he's not playing. And then later that day, LaMarcus Aldridge retires.
Yeah.
And Stephen A. basically comes out and says, it's a damn shame, really, that I was looking forward to this game, and now why would I watch? Why would I watch? Because there's nobody going to be playing in this game. Yeah. And I think that's what I think Colin has alluded to it sometimes, and I've agreed with him to this point about why the NBA ratings keep going down. It's because people tune in and how if you are the TV stations, how are you going to market a Laker game right now? you're going to say it's the Lakers versus the 76ers. So the 76ers guy they're going to show up there is probably going to be either Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid. That's who they're going to showcase their profile. Well, if you show the Lakers, AD ain't playing, LeBron ain't playing, what, you going to put Dennis Schroeder up there? You're going to say Andre Drummond up there? What if Andre Drummond's not playing? I don't know. Like, think about it. If Milwaukee's getting ready to play Brooklyn and you're trying to sell to people to watch this game by showing Giannis's face and highlights and Kevin Durant's face and highlights, and neither one of them play that night, is that not false advertising? Yeah. Because I was getting ready to tune in and watch these guys play, but they're not there.
There's two reasons that I look at, and number one, the COVID deal messed up a lot of things because you can't run with these guys having to be out on the court consistently like they just finished the season and not a month or two later they already starting another season and it's running back to back. So I understand I need a little bit more rest because I never really had my time off, and I understand that part of it. But I also understand when you go back and you think of Michael Jordan, he always said, if I was ever going to set out a game, it would be the one I would play at home. Because when I go on the road, those are the games that people pay the money to come and watch me play.
That's the one. That's the ones I don't like. You can home people have 41 chances to buy a ticket. The road teams do not. It's not fair to their fans, especially if you're a Charlotte Hornets fan and you already don't have stars. Well, you're buying tickets to watch the stars of the other teams a lot of these times, and then when they come to Charlotte, they're like, we can beat y'all without our stars. Well, I don't want to play on Charlotte. This isn't national television. It never is. So why am I going to play? And it happens all the time in Charlotte. And half the league has no reason for teams to buy season tickets. So they've got some issues. Hunter, what was the last thing you were mentioning before Terry went there? I had a response to that.
I was basically talking about, these TV stations, and they promote the game and they'll show the two players, the star players, and then they don't play. And I'm basically like, how is that not just false advertising? The false
advertising thing. So they went to that's part of that deal where I told y'all that the NFL basically had to admit that they are just like the WWE and they can fix games. I mean, they did this in court. So we can believe we're watching real football we want. They admitted in court because of that issue. Because fans of the Patriots during the Deflategate, they were suing for false advertising that they wanted their season tickets back, or so. That's where it started, and it ballooned into more than that. And that's how they got the NFL in the stand and the lawyers to sit there and admit that. So on the back of your tickets in the small print, it basically says that you don't have any rights as far as that goes, Hunter. That this is you're buying. It's basically like you come into a movie, but or something else, or the drummer in a band is sick tonight or something. Is basically how the lawyers kind of worded that, but you don't go to a movie, Tom, to see an Eddie Murphy movie, and Eddie Murphy's not in it on Wednesday nights. Yeah. they just they don't put Omar Epps in there on Wednesday nights. It's I hear you, Hunter.
You don't turn on the Andy Griffith show and Andy's not on the show,
right? But I hate to break everybody's hearts with that. They went to court and admitted that they're just like the WWE in that, and to get away from being sued for millions and not billions of dollars on that. So it's not. They can basically do a fake product. All right, NBA had a couple. Let me check my notes on that before we move on to the NFL and NASCAR here today. I think I did have one or two other ones besides that Anthony Edwards one. That was funny that he didn't know who A-Rod was. No, that's my NFL. I guess we kind of let's finish up the basketball on this. Hunter, Tar Heels this week.
Mm-hmm.
Hubert Davis, Roy retires. They hire Hubert. Here's his stats. 12-year NBA veteran, 91 Final Four, graduated from UNC in 92. 89 and 1991 ACC champions, 9 years on the staff as an assistant, 137 games as Tar Heel. Holds the UNC record still for career three-point percentage at .435. I told Tom last week, I as far as overall all qualifications, check every box. I think Hubert Davis hits everything, and I have no problem with that. Only other two people I would have wanted, Kenny Smith probably could have knocked out the recruiting. We would have nailed the one and dones year after year. If you wanted the stars, the Zion Williamsons, it's Kenny Smith. If you want the program to continue like it is, it's Hubert Davis. But I told them last week I wanted Jerry Stackhouse more than anything, just so when Coach K gets mad, he looks over there and changes his mind really quick.
I will give Hubert Davis a lot of credit. It showed some of the coaches coming in. Sean May's coming back.
Lebo.
Jeff Lebo.
Lebo's a great decision.
Yeah,
Sean May's a terrible decision.
But I'm just saying, though, he's staying within UNC concepts.
Well, and some people don't like it, some people do. But Terry, what's the point of building up 50 years of NBA players if you're not and former basketball players if you're not going to tap into that? Like, let's go hire somebody who played at Murray State or wherever. You have history of NBA players. Even if you bring in Michael Jordan, for God's sake, I don't care. You still got all that type of precision. Isn't that the idea, though? The fact with Dean Smith integrating the ACC, North Carolina first of Charlie Scott, and then it progresses on to his assistant to Roy. And at the end of the day, don't you want to hand the program off to your players? And that's what Dean. I think Dean in heaven, if he's looking down, that's what he would have wanted, is to hand it right off to Hubert Davis, like it happened. Go ahead, Terry. Sorry.
Well, I'm just with Hubert of what he's doing. And I know some people say, well, Sean May might not be the one. I understand everybody's going to have difference of opinions of who you bring.
I think he was over player personnel.
You have also said in here,
Sean May. I'm trying to remember what his title was, and I looked at him. I was like, "What, Sean May?"
He's not in charge of conditioning. I'll say that.
No.
But I will say, Kevin had also said in here a million times, the program runs no matter who's going to run it if you've been a part of it. And that's the reason I say Hubert Davis, the program will still run. They will still win. It's not going to change. Can you win national championships? Yeah, that's what they want. But the program is still going to run like it has been. It's not going to change.
Well, when I look at this hiring, I'm not upset with it. It wasn't my first choice, but I figured that was going to be the way they lean. My first choice, if you were going to keep it in the family, was, in fact, Wes Miller from UNC Greensboro. He just took the job at Cincinnati. So, to me, how I'm going to judge this, and I will say this, I do like the Hubert Davis hirings of some of his staff members, especially the Jeff Lebo part. I really think that's going to be nice, what he can bring to the table when he's talking to these kids about what he's done and what he can share their experiences. I think that would be really nice. But to me, it's going to come down to, I need to see success. I'll put them at least on a 2 or 3 year period between what Wes Miller does at Cincinnati and what Hubert Davis does at North Carolina.
No, you got to have 5 years.
I mean,
you give someone a 5-year contract that by year 2 or 3, you're deciding if you're going to let him go. That's what I'm saying.
Well, what's the standard? Roy Williams' standard was the 9th seed first round exit. Coach K's standard was not even making the tournament. So, are we going to hold Hubert Davis to higher standards that we held?
I'm going to tell you something, though. Now, we all have to sit here, and Hubert Davis' problem to me is going to be this. It's not about the coaches no more. It's about these guys who come in that Hubert gets, and all of a sudden they don't get playing time, and they go,
the transfer
piss on this. I'm going somewhere else. And
that's what I'm saying.
Not
that's what's going to happen. The name, image, and likeness thing that they're getting ready to have to deal with when that comes up this year.
Because those are my problems. And now you got every conference dropping that, okay, you can't transfer in our conference. Now that's being dropped where they can.
And they don't have to sit out a year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not going to be about
North
coaching.
Carolina just got
it's going to be about me walking over to Hunter, patting Hunter on his back going, even though you're only playing 1 minute, you're the greatest 1 minute player I've ever seen in my life. That's what it's going to be about.
And then hand him a business card.
Yeah.
You ever change your mind? Listen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Also with Hubert, as far as Roy Williams' standards are, not one single NBA All-Star he ever recruited to North Carolina. Not one single Tar Heel ever averaged 20 points at North Carolina in the NBA under Roy Williams.
Listen.
So what I'm saying, Hunter, is I'm just saying his standard shouldn't be the Dean Smith.
No.
You got to have Michael Jordan.
Is
Jerry
it
Stackhouse
reasonable for my standard to be between how Wes Miller is with Cincinnati and Hubert Davis is at North Carolina, at least making the tournament?
Right. Yeah, they're
I don't care how you get in. Okay, whether it's I'll kind of be upset if you're getting like a 16 seed, but
Hubert would fire himself if they weren't making the tournament.
I don't think
you have anything to worry about.
I think he would.
You don't have anything to worry about.
I think that's how that would work.
But I'm not telling Walter Davis's nephew, who's is the all-time 3-point percentage shooter, that I'm hiring Wes Miller over him.
Yeah. And you talk about dumb moves, and I don't mean to go off on something else, but it's still the same concept. It's like Indiana with Larry Bird, and all of a sudden we decide, Nate McMillan, we don't need you. You know what? I've told people in this room a bunch of times, Nate McMillan's one of the best coaches that you could ever have, one of the best point, but he was on my daggum elite 5 team from state. because what's he done? He's went to Atlanta. What's he done with them? He's moved them up to 4th. Where's Indiana down towards the bottom?
But we were talking players.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, though, coaches means a lot.
Yeah, help.
You know what I'm saying?
I would have liked to seen Terry. Final thought on this, just for fun. You know, I like the old Joker, break the pool stick, throw it in the floor, and let them fight over it. Why don't we just have a one-on-one tournament for the coach's job? Stackhouse, Rashid, Jameson, Carter, Hubert. Hubert might still win that. He could shoot better than all of them. They're old and can't move.
Line
that not
him
been
up for who
entertaining as
wants
could
the
be,
job.
Tom? That would be way more entertaining than the NBA play-in tournament. Yes or no?
Yeah, actually it would.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch any of those playing games.
I'm not sure that. I'm not sure that's who should determine who the coach is.
I've got a better idea. How about Hubert and his staff, like Hubert, Sean May, and Lebo, would play Stackhouse and his staff in a Big 3 game?
Didn't they interview Stackhouse?
Yeah,
I was about to say he at least got an interview.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But I feel like that was just a courtesy interview because for them, I felt like they'd already decided and they were like, all right, we'll let you at least.
Stack might be next in line. I'll put it that way. If he keeps
the only
coaching,
problem I
he
hate
might
with
be
it is Hubert Davis being an assistant, and
But
you're
it might
right.
be 20 years.
You're exactly right. If they do not do good, he will decline himself. But then what happens to him? You know,
He'd be assistant anywhere.
He
go somewhere and be
could, but it
assistant.
won't be
Or
a
be an
Carolina.
analyst or something.
He
That's
can
the worst
go.
part
He can
about it.
probably go get a head coaching job somewhere else.
You don't think you want to see Charlotte hire him to be head coach?
Oh, I think somebody else would, but I'm just saying though, if
Oh, yeah.
you've always wanted to be a Carolina man and you take this job, you've kind of put yourself on the line now because if it don't work, then you're going to be out where you would have still been an assistant.
I don't know.
Don't be afraid to succeed, Terry.
Like you have
Oh,
to
I
admit
know.
when you're at one of these blue blood colleges in college basketball, there are expectations, and if you can't take those expectations,
Hunter.
then it's like can't take the heat, get out the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's how it
He
is.
goes 0-30 if he walks down there in the first Duke game and slaps Coach K.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what.
Go 0-30.
No, that's actually not true, Kevin, because a lot of us, you know this too. When Roy Williams, for the first time ever in North Carolina's history, lost to Clemson at home,
Yeah, that's when he should have been fired.
we all started raising our eyebrows. There's no way we can just let Hubert Davis go 1-30 or 1-29 and that third one win be against Duke and just let him slide. There ain't no
Hunter,
way he will be run out of there
Hunter, are you
faster
saying-
than anybody.
Are you saying that if Hubert loses, if he starts off 0-1 against Clemson at home, he's out?
It's gonna be a little bit of an eyebrow raiser.
You start out 0-1
But you
against
gotta look
Clemson,
at.
you're
But
out.
I can't. I have to give him this first year, obviously, as a pass
That's funny.
because he has to get his system implemented.
And a couple guys left.
You're right. Dayron Sharp left. Kessler went to Auburn.
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody knew that was going to happen.
I just got to see what was happening. I just got to see who stays committed. That was committed to Roy, but now are committed to Hubert. I have to see how that goes, and I will give him time. But I just know I'm going to be watching how Wes Miller does at Cincinnati. We don't consider Cincinnati, a blue blood program or a high esteemed
Huggy Bear
program.
was there; they were doing well.
Used to be, really used to be, and the coach that's out at UCLA right now was there. And he had them really good.
A lot of people have gone to Cincinnati and Xavier, those two Southern Ohio schools. That's kind of like you get that job and then you get.
That was like a few years ago, the
job.
Cincinnati Xavier fight. That was the craziest fight I've ever seen in my life. It was awesome.
All right, guys, let's take a break. When we come back, NFL time, getting closer to the draft. That's, 2 weeks away?
Yeah, about a week and a half.
Look, ESPN is so excited about it, Hunter. They've already put out.
Don't worry, I'm looking every day.
They've already put out their wins predictions for all 32 teams, and we haven't even had the draft.
Oh, I know.
How can you possibly do that?
It's like a future bet.
All right, we'll be back on KDCBroadcasting.com.
Question: where do you buy a used car with a lifetime warranty? The answer is Friendship in Forest City. Friendship has lifetime warranty on new and used cars. Unlimited time, unlimited miles. That's Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City.
Looking for a new car? Maybe a pre-owned car or truck, or maybe an SUV. Then let your fingers do the walking and go to whatsupshopper.com. Local dealers with local vehicles. You don't have to drive all over the country. Just click on whatsupshopper.com and take a look at the local selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, and more from local dealers in Gaston, Cleveland, and Lincoln counties. Car shopping just got easier by going to whatsupshopper.com. Pick yours out today.
Spring season is here at McKinley's Home Furnishings in Eastridge Mall. Specialize in home furnishings inside and outside of your home with the best prices around. They have a large supply in garden flags, doormats, metal signs, and every kind of home decor you can think of. Business hours, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m. McKinley's Home Furnishings in Gastonia at Eastridge Mall, 246 North New Hope Road. Like them on Facebook.
Take advantage of a special offer on the versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain.
Keep it covered or store it up with a new carport or storage building from Sheila Sheds in Cherryville and Shelby. And right now, Sheila Sheds is having a carport special. Certified carports start at just $13.45. Get yours today, and be sure to check out their selection of storage barns, sheds, portable buildings, metal sheds, and more. Sheila Sheds, 2261 Lincoln Highway, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, also 2104 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Like them on Facebook, too. In Shelby, call 704-406-9185. In Cherryville, call 704-802-4610.
If you want to prove to your neighbors that you own land, you need a deed. But if you want to prove it to yourself, you need a tractor. That's why Coyote's made 2 all-new subcompact tractor models to get you out in the dirt. The CS2220 and CS2520 feature drive-over mid-mount mower option and 22 to 25 horsepower Coyote diesel engines. They also come with available loader with quick attach bucket standard and available backhoe. Coyote, we dig dirt.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sales, Highway 18 North, 27 West intersection in Vail.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. They're talking about, I think, NFL now.
Yeah. What does NFL stand for, JP?
National Football League.
Hey!
Good job, JP.
It's the
100 today.
It's the No Fun League.
Tom, me and Andre was talking about this. We need to get a word of the day to get JP, try to get JP to say like the old Pee Wee Herman skit, and we all hit the button and go, you remember that one? As soon as they said the word, hey! You don't know about that, do you? Do you know Pee Wee Herman invented FaceTime?
No.
Yeah, he had it on.
Didn't he, Tom?
Yeah, he did.
The Pee Wee Herman show was the very first show I ever saw on TV where they had video calling and conferences. He called all of his friends.
Oh.
He'd called the Muppets.
Pee Wee Herman was so stupid you had to watch it. That's the level of stupidity it was. It was so stupid you couldn't
watch it.
I did. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was funny. I liked the movies. It's
stupid. It's just so
right.
stupid.
It's it's the Ace Ventura type.
That's gone though. Like they don't really do it anymore. Like
there is no
slapstick comedy.
There's no more.
And Naked Gun.
Yeah, Mr. Bean. There's no more Mr.
that.
Bean anymore.
Yeah,
It's like nothing.
I told y'all on the first of the show when Shannon texts you that nobody likes anything fun anymore in comedy. So we hate everything. So no slapstick, no Ace Venturas, no American Pies. I don't know what the kids are watching today. They're not watching American Pie. All right, NFL action. I got a stat for you guys. Y'all ready for this? This is my favorite Saturday trivia time. I know y'all are gonna murder this one. After turning 40, Jerry Rice had 185 catches, 2,500 yards, and 12 touchdowns. In the history of the NFL, only 2 other players have combined for a grand total of 2 catches and 40 yards over the age of 40. 4 yards, not 40, 4 yards. I'll repeat that. Over the age of 40, besides Jerry Rice, only 2 players in NFL history have combined for 2 catches and 4 yards.
2 catches and 4 yards.
Yes, the only time in NFL history anyone over 40 years old has caught a pass.
Outside
Jerry
of
Rice
Jerry
is the only
Rice.
one. And there's 2 other people.
Really?
They each have 1 catch for 2 yards. Can you name any of them? They're both Hall of Famers. I'll give you that hint. They've both played since the 90s. So it's nothing old. It's in the 90s, in the 2000s.
A 40-year-old wide receiver. That is pretty rare.
And 2 catches, 4 yards. In fact, if anybody's listening or watching and knows the answer, I'll give you 4 Hickory Crawdads tickets and
He's trying to get rid
2 golf passes.
Okay.
That's how confident I am y'all are going to not even come close to this. But anyway.
Trying to think who played till they were 40.
I'm gonna put that in the back burner, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about the draft, okay?
Okay.
Last night, guys, I don't know if you saw, ESPN came out with a story on the Surratt brothers. Phil Gardner retweeted it. Get on ESPN, check it out. There's a whole story on them. Pretty good story. Tells them that they're growing up background, getting to where they are, doing his decision on playing linebacker, going Harvard, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good article, pretty in depth, talking about the brothers. So fantastic read, folks. Go to ESPN.com to see the story on the Surratt brothers. Here it is: 2 brothers, 2 different paths, 1 shared goal. David Hale's story on the guys. So check that out. Also, Caleb Farley's going to be drafted in the 1st round.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, probably, unless something, you never know. These guys that randomly fall because of an injury, he's had back and knee concerns, so you don't know. Maybe he stays up there, maybe he don't. But Hunter?
Yeah.
These mock drafts I'm looking at, everyone's all over the place at San Francisco. I'm confused what they're going to do. Do you trade up everything you got to get Mac Jones? Or is that a smokescreen because they want Fields or Lance instead? Or is even all that a smokescreen? And this is a Kyle Pitts move to help Jimmy G. Shanahan as head coach is 7-22 without Jimmy G as his quarterback.
Yeah.
The only season he had a winning season was with Jimmy G. They went to the Super Bowl with his full season. And they're looking. And it looks like they're doing everything to get rid of him, unless he's flirting with his wife. What am I missing? Why are you getting rid of Jimmy G?
When I look at this situation in San Francisco, you don't give up those kind of picks for a tight end. And I believe Kyle Pitts is a bona fide stud. I think he's
bona fide
stud. I think he's got Hall of Famer written on him, like they said Chase Young did. I think he does, because he's so different for what that position is going to see.
Let's see him play first before we put him in the Hall of Fame.
You're right.
Got to catch a pass.
You're right. But and it depends on where he goes to and how they use him. So, but still, I don't think you give up that and move up to where because think about it. When they made that trade, they traded that pick with Miami to get to 3.
Right.
And then Miami traded again to get to 6 with Philadelphia. Well, you probably could have just traded if you were the 49ers.
Does that mean Miami's trying to get to 6 to get the best receiver or Pitts?
Right, that's what I'm saying. You could have traded just for the 49ers to go to 6 with the Eagles.
Now, what's weird about this, Hunter, real quick before you finish your thought there, is it's got the Falcons picking quarterback across the board on CBS.
And I don't agree with that.
I don't think they'll do that for one bit. Why would they? If they do, they're basically saying we're not winning. We're giving up on Matt Ryan. We're not winning. Same. I mean, you saw the Packers. You need to talk about Coward a lot. He was pointing out that about these teams, and we've talked about it for years. These quarterbacks are making over $25 million. Your teams don't win championships.
No, you don't.
You got to take a pay cut and make below so you can pay the defense. What is going on over here with the unprofessional old men and their dial-up phones?
Well, you gave us a question to answer, Kevin. So
y'all are looking it up, huh?
So we're working on it.
You're supposed to be guessing, not looking it up. All right, Trevor Lawrence 1, Wilson 2. It's got 4 quarterbacks top 4. If that's the case, the Browns, Cowboys, sitting back here in the middle should be happy. They've already got quarterbacks.
I see that one right there underneath at the 8 spot.
Talk about the Redskins trade up.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can't trade up anymore, can you? Aren't you about out of picks, or y'all got extras? I thought y'all were running low on stuff.
I don't think we're out of picks.
Okay.
I don't think we're out of picks.
No, y'all gave up a bunch to give up 4 spots. That was the point the other day.
Yeah.
Why? How much do you need to go up all the way there? And who are you going up there to get?
That's what I don't know. Listen, there have been so many reports that the Washington front office and the coaching staff love Trey Lance. But think about it. What are you going to do? You'd have to only wait for a draft day move unless you were just certain that nobody's going to take him within the top 3.
Where are they picking?
19th.
9th. Yeah.
Like, come on now. What are you thinking? Like,
Yeah,
now I will
give
say
up?
this. And this is just me. If I knew he was can't miss and I'm just a quarterback away and we wouldn't have already signed Fitzpatrick to the 1-year, $10 million contract, call me crazy. I said, I'll give you 1 through 7. If that's what it takes this year, I'll give you 1 through 7 for this year.
They give Fitzpatrick $10 million?
1 year, $10 million.
Generous.
And people are going to say, oh, that's crazy. I'm like, technically, no, because I'm not mortgaging my future picks for next year. If I've already got the defense I need and I'm fine with the weapons and offensive line I already have, I'll give you 1 through 7 this year. You build your team up fine because you're already in a bad spot picking anyways. You need a lot of players. And I'll just come up and get the quarterback that I want, and I'm fine. That would be my mindset, not giving up I'll give up this year's first and next year's first. And no.
Well,
I'll just give you every pick from this year.
I think a lot of people are thinking they better get your quarterback this year because there's not going to be any next year.
All I keep hearing is the quarterback next year is just not that class next year. It's just not that good.
But we don't
know
yet. We don't know
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you don't know. You're just we just are fortunate right now to where Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, when they were coming out of high school, were literally the number 1 and number 2 players in the country.
Forever,
We've talked about them for 3 years now. Okay, Zach Wilson came out of nowhere in a year, and to me, Trey Lance came out of nowhere in a year, and Mac Jones couldn't beat out Tua, and so that's just how I feel about it.
They're really high on Mac Jones, though. A lot of
see,
people are really high.
To go back to Kevin's first question, I think it's a smokescreen. I don't think they take Mac Jones. I think they take Justin Fields. I don't think they take Kyle Pitts because, to me, I don't give up those kind of moves if I'm not. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is gone draft day. I think they trade him draft day to somebody. I don't know for what. I think he's gone. They said that they're committed to him. And Terry, I don't know what's happening over here. But
we're going to get copyright violated.
I mean, my God, I can't even get my thoughts straight. I'm trying to figure out if Terry's okay over here. You all right?
He's all right. He's a busy man.
He's
He's a busy man.
Some of us are working all the time. Huh?
All the time. Are you making deals right now?
It's the Dixie Youth National President wanting to kick him out of Dixie Youth
he
baseball.
said we
thrown out of girls' temple.
I got some questions. Was that Jerry? Was that Jerry wanting to know your thoughts about the Cowboys pick at 10?
It was
that
okay? Already calling in.
Listen,
let me guess. The Cowboys pick another wide receiver. How much you want to bet? Cowboys are going to pick another wide receiver.
The smoke screen. Jerry likes Kyle Pitts.
Everybody thinking we're going to pick Surtain, but I mean, he's already been bumped up to like 6th or 5th now. So I don't know. Who doubts
Well, this
him.
one's got you guys at the 10th pick across the board, going where?
First of all, they had tight end for Florida.
Cornerbacks, Horn or Surtain.
Yeah.
It says
probably that or Patrick or J.C. Horn.
It says Surratt could go second. Chas goes 2nd or 3rd. Sage anywhere from 3rd through 6th. Just depends on.
I think they have Caleb Farley dropping at least to like between 17 and the 20s. That's just because of his back surgery.
That's it.
If he doesn't have that, I guarantee he's probably a top 10 pick.
If he makes the 26, Tom, we better get him. Yeah. Just to have him as a kick returner. Didn't we just signed a corner, didn't we? So it's not the most pressing need, but I would love to have a 4-2 kick returner out there.
I'm just looking out there through those picks, and I'll be honest. If he's sitting there at 19, I'd want Washington to get him.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, we would already make what a good of a defense we already have better. Why not?
I don't think you can ever have enough defensive players.
All right, if you're the Panthers,
you can never have enough.
Panthers sitting at 8 guys. What are you doing? Are you drafting? This one's got Sewell or trading back with Washington. Are you getting a lineman? No defense, guys. We could have a top 10 without a defender pick.
I think we are. Well, I think Dallas goes defense.
And I think you got 10 teams making grave mistakes. and I'm fine with it because it's not one of the teams that I'm pulling for. So go ahead. Like,
I don't think Trevor Lawrence is a mistake. Everything beyond him is.
Well, just on average, is 50% of all first-round picks usually don't make a Pro Bowl. So of the 4 quarterbacks, the top 4, 2 of them are that, and then one of them's probably a bust, and now you're down to 4 of the 4.
But here's how I look at it. If I'm looking at the teams that are picking in the top 10, outside of Atlanta and the Cowboys, I look at them and I'm like, well, technically, I mean, they have bigger needs than defense. Like, we all know, if you don't have a quarterback, then what are you doing? You're just floundering around. That's how I feel about with Washington. Luckily, we have the defense, so we'd be fine. But I'm looking at this. Atlanta, technically, you have the quarterback. You don't need to draft a quarterback. You could get Kyle Pitts if you want to add another weapon to an offense that still gets beat 45-42. But, I mean, get the defender. But you look at the Bengals. You need to protect Joe Burrow. Was on record pace last year to beat the most sacks ever for a rookie or for a quarterback in general. Miami, if you're sold on Tua or you're thinking you are, you need to get him a weapon that he can throw to. So there's offense. We know what the Jets, we know what the Jags are doing. We know San Francisco didn't move up to 3, trading all that for a defensive player. So it just comes down to what they need. But I agree with you, Kevin. All these other teams, they're just going to take the best defenders, and they're just going to be so much better. Now, Miami can get a defender late. They have a second pick in the first round. So does Jacksonville, and so do the Jets. So technically, they can afford to get out of the way what they really need and get a good defensive player late because they know it's not going to go early in the first round.
Yeah, because usually you're.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, hold on.
You can always get, edge rushers usually go a little earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And now you're going to get a chance to get one a little later.
Right.
There's a couple of good ones in this draft. So I would say that, if you're not in the market for a quarterback and you're not in the market for offense, this is going to be a good draft for you. You're going to get some value later in that draft.
Yeah, there's going to be some value in this draft. Cleveland, you can't go wrong, really. Getting another defensive player.
They talk about getting the kid. Who's the kid from Miami that everybody's high on?
Yeah, he's got a weird last name. I can't really pronounce it.
There was a couple others they've talked about. And
if you're getting an edge player, though, the only thing I question is, I guess that's just for your future because you're probably not re-signing Clowney after this year. Because to me, you would take the edge rusher if you don't.
I guess your
want
argument
Clowney.
Was you can move Clowney to different positions on the line. So you can.
I guess.
Yeah, but is Clowney worth?
No, that's a mistake.
What'd you
I'm
get him?
so happy it's 1 year.
What'd you get him? 13, 14, 10 million?
He's never had 10-digit sack total in his career, and he's been playing opposite.
But he's good against the run. I mean, you guys are forgetting
opposite
of
J.J.
Watt.
He's not going to help you.
Opposite of J.J. Watt.
He's good against
single.
He's not going to help you at all.
Listen,
he's gonna help a little bit.
Somebody made a very good point.
He's not the USC guy.
I was listening, and somebody made a very good point. They said, for how much longer is Jadeveon Clowney going to be able to cut a check based off of that hit against Michigan?
Yeah, that's all it's been. What he did.
He made that hit against Michigan in college. I cannot remember who said that, but since then they have paid
him a lot, but they're not paying him a ton.
So I did that to a guy in practice one time, Terry. And if these kids today had videos of what we did in the 90s and 80s, like that's what's crazy. Like this is the first time this has ever happened. Like I knocked the guy out. All he did was the tackle didn't block, and he just left him free, and he blew a guy. It just happens all the time. It's just so silly. I have a winner. Y'all didn't figure it out.
Yeah, I did. It's Brett Favre.
Hey, hold on. Troy Worcester, you're the winner.
Well, there you go. You get crawdads tickets and golf tickets.
The only 2 people to catch a pass in NFL history over 40 yards besides Jerry Rice, Hunter, Tom Brady and Brett Favre.
I got it right. They're not wide receivers.
You didn't know it. I never said the word wide receiver.
It was a misleading question because you said it was wide receiver.
I didn't say wide receiver.
Which makes the question
We'll have to go back and watch the
flawed.
replay.
It's a flawed question. It's just like everything else you say. It's
I
flawed.
said only players in NFL history over 40 years old.
It's like everything. No, you said wide receiver. What? Tell me a receiver.
Go back to the tape.
So
check the tape, YouTube. Y'all can reverse.
Check the tape.
Speaking of what, JP spelled it. Look how he spelled Brett Favre's name.
Well, if he misspelled Brett
Troy,
Favre,
call back.
Listen.
Not even that. No, look at the first name. You even looked over that. Probably. You looked so quick.
It's bread.
Brett Favre.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm bad when it comes to names or spelling, period.
B-R-E-D, bread.
Bread Favre.
Back it up. There it is.
There's
Bread
bread.
Favre.
Yeah, put some bologna on
Hey,
it.
but
We love you,
JP,
JP. Troy Worcester, call back.
do not feel bad about misspelling
And give
Favre.
JP your address. Call back, give JP your address.
It's
Troy.
really spelled like Favre, F-A-V-R-E.
You're right.
Yeah,
Don't
we
feel
given
bad.
you the last name, JP, but the first name, sorry.
Bread.
Bread. What's that, Bread?
Do you know anybody named Bread? And not Brett?
Listen, this is a perfect segment for someone to
I love it.
Photoshop
That's awesome.
Brett Favre's jersey onto a loaf of bread. There you go. And that's
But how
Bread
about that?
Favre.
But is that not amazing, though, that Jerry Rice has, 15 and 2,500 yards? What was it? Let me pull it back up.
Can't be 40 years old
And
and
40
play
years
wide
old.
receiver unless you're just an absolute freak of nature like he was.
I don't think people get like how much protected the quarterbacks actually are as compared to other football players.
That's why they can play in their 40s.
Does Tom Brady probably scored that off of Bill Belichick stealing the Philly special from Philadelphia and running it with New England? I think that's how that happened.
Was that one of them?
I think that is.
What was that?
That's how, because 40-year-olds now. Brett Favre, I had no idea how he caught
Brett
that.
Favre
but
was a tipped pass he caught himself. I would almost guarantee if I think I remember even seeing the play before. Rice has 185 catches, which is 2 seasons and 2,500 yards.
Yeah.
And Brett and no other wide receivers have any. Brett Favre and Brady are second in career catches after 40 years old.
Did Fitzgerald retire?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's the greatest stat.
he
ever,
had.
I think.
I think the thing is he's kind of keeping the Cardinals in limbo because I heard an interview with I don't know if it was their owner or their general manager, but he's up there in the Cardinals and he said basically we have not heard like what Larry's decision is. So I don't know if they're kind of waiting to make
contract expired?
I don't know if his contract is expired or if he's if he's just doing like 1-year deals until he's just ready to retire. I don't know, but I don't know because think about it. You got DeAndre Hopkins and Christian Kirk. Fitzgerald's always kind of been your safety net, but if he's deciding to come back, does that dictate kind of what you do with your draft pick? Because if he leaves, you might be in the market for another wide receiver, but you don't know.
Yeah. Glad you brought up the wide receivers. That was my next point. 3 wide receivers are likely to go in the top 15 this year. Here are the wide receivers drafted in the top 15 since 2012. Y'all say good pick or not? Good or bad? Justin Blackmon.
Bad pick.
Michael Floyd.
No.
Bad pick.
Tavon Austin.
No.
Bad pick.
Sammy Watkins.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. He
Decent.
can do a lot of things.
Mike
Decent.
Evans.
Good.
OBJ.
Good.
Amari Cooper.
Good.
Good.
Kevin White.
Bust.
Devontae Parker.
Good.
Corey Coleman.
Not
Oh,
good.
my God.
Corey Davis.
Good.
Mike Williams.
Which Mike Williams is this? This one of
They're
the Chargers?
all garbage. John Ross.
Bad.
Henry Ruggs.
Bad.
Jerry Jeudy.
I don't know. Doesn't have a quarterback. I don't know.
So in the last 9 years, only 5 good wide receivers have been drafted in the top 15.
Mm-hmm.
So again, buyer beware on these players. If your team's not picking defense and picking offense, you get excited about it. But
offense is the eye candy.
It does
Defense
not
wins you the games.
Offense sells the preseason tickets, don't it?
That icing on the cake.
I think that's the issue. Is that right there, man? All right, we need to take a break and come back. Real quick, Panthers. Last year here's my note real quick. Talk about offense or defense. Last year they were 24th in offense, 18th in defense. So maybe they do need to go offense. But with offense last year, no McCaffrey.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No. And that you'd think that Sam Darnold is an improvement on Teddy Bridgewater. I think he'll be pretty good, but
I think the Panthers should cross their fingers and hope in God and pray that Pitts falls to them.
I don't think that's going to happen.
And if he doesn't, then pick.
Where are they picking? Eighth.
There's a chance. There's a chance. If 4 quarterbacks go,
Or they might be like if he's there at 7. All right, make a deal.
Right.
You know, I mean
right.
that might be what they do.
But like if there's 4 quarterbacks go, Who
Yeah,
knows
no,
what
think
5,
about
6,
it.
and
Think
7
about
picks
it.
is going to be?
7 is the Lions, and that's going to be like they just put Jared Goff in. He needs weapons. They lost, their wide receivers.
It's going to depend on what happens in those first few picks, and I think once the TV screen clears up a little bit, then people are going to. Oh,
you know
this
who
guy's
else it's
here.
going to
Now we're
depend on? It's going to depend on what David Tepper wants.
All right, Tom, I'm recommending a game for your brother. Not naming names, Danny, but I know some of you have gambling issues. A fun game is draft day quarters, 4, 5, 10 friends, whatever you want to do. And each draft pick comes up, everybody puts a quarter in and say who you picking. And everybody splits up the winnings on who gets picked, and then it gets pretty wild. The first time we ever did it, though, was the draft Minnesota passed up their pick. And I've never seen a more. That was the funnest one we've ever did because everybody know how because all the mocks, Hunter, it went like this. All 5, 6, 7 people in the room just went because the mocks had one thing and it was just boom, boom, pick before Minnesota gets up there. That was the most fun gambling for a quarter I've ever done in my life.
They never get. They just lost the pick, didn't they? They just got skipped.
Yeah, what you do is that if you just you basically give up the rights to your pick for that second, but like. You can come back at any time. So you can give yourself the 8th pick in the draft by just not picking and just wait. So while the other teams are on the clock, you can run up there and claim whoever you want is the rule. It's a weird rule. I don't know why they did that.
So even though you didn't get your pick in,
you're still technically on the clock at any time.
Okay.
But they waited like 5 or 6 picks. So we're sitting there like losing our minds because we don't know if Minnesota's going to run up. They're like, well, whoever runs up to the podium gets the pick. So it's basically like Minnesota versus 4 or 5 teams in a row. Like, are they going to race to the podium? Is it going to be elbows? We were wondering. I thought it might be fun. All right, we come back. We're going to finish up with NASCAR. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Okay, class, listen up. Do not buy a car without a warranty. Just don't do it. At Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, we have lifetime warranty on new and used cars. That's right, lifetime warranty on new and used cars. Unlimited time, unlimited miles. And through the end of this month, we're offering up to $4,000 over Kelley Blue Book value on your trade. So one more time, Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram has lifetime warranty on new and used cars, and you'll find us in Forest City.
It's time to sign and drive. That's right, sign and drive at the all-new Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia. For a limited time, pay no money down. Plus, Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia will make your first payment. Come in now for all the details. See the classic difference with Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. You'll find a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to serve you. Just sign and drive at Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia. Now located at 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard. Online at classicvwgastonia.com. During this period of COVID-19, Bruner's Automotive in downtown Cherryville wants you to know that they are there for you. Come by and get a free fluid and air pressure check. They'll check your oil, coolant, and fluids and make sure your tires have the correct pressure. And it's at no charge. And they can give you personal protection. Just pull up, beep your horn, and they'll come out. See them today. That's Bruner's Automotive, 319 East Main Street in Cherryville. Give them a call at 704-923-7612. Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville and the Falston Pharmacy in Falston are open to serve you. You can come on in and get your prescriptions filled, or you can continue to use their convenient drive-through window. And at Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville, the grill is also open for breakfast and lunch. You can even call your order in at 704-435-3259 and pick it up at the drive-through. And both stores are welcoming patient transfers. Buy local, shop local at Medical Center Pharmacy, 607 East Academy Street in Cherryville, and the Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston. It's time to ride away on a great used motorcycle from Pink's Auto Sales in Cherryville. Go online and check out their inventory at pinksauto.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com. On the lot now, you'll find a 2011 Harley-Davidson Ultra Classic with sidecar for $94.95, a 2016 Harley-Davidson Road Glide Ultra for $18,995, and a 2010 Harley-Davidson Dyna Fat Bob for $79.95. Pink's Auto Sales, 7507 Dallas Cherryville Highway in Cherryville, next to Tom's Tables. Visit them too at tomstables.com.
The LS Tractor difference doesn't start with us, it starts with you. You get the LS Tractor difference, which means the more tractor for your money. No one gives you more bang for the buck, and not just on horsepower. Get the LS Tractor honest pricing policy. There are no hidden costs, and you get more features that come standard on an LS tractor. See the line of LS tractors today at Hojo Power Equipment, 110 Greek Street in Shelby. Get the LS tractor difference today.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. Well, Kevin and the gang -1. Terry had to leave.
Gang left. Let's talk a little Dixie's baseball. Real quick, though, Tom. My son last night was batting, and the pitcher was, well, not last night before. Pitcher's a little wild, so, we take first pitch anyway. Well, he got under his head that last night, for some reason, I was, to talk a little bit. He thought I said take all the pitches. Well, it didn't matter. The pitcher, after walking 8 batters, my son comes up, Hunter. 3 right down the pipe. Go sit down. Have a nice day. His only at bat of the night.
Man.
Okay, why is anybody telling anybody to take a pitch in a 9-year-old game?
Did you not hear me say he walked 10 batters?
I don't care. No, I don't care. It's a 9-year-old game.
Tom, we take every pitch unless there's 2 strikes on us.
No, go hit the ball, son.
You can't. Ain't nobody threw it over the plate yet. Think about it. Out of 7 pitches, Hunter, there's probably a 1 or 2 in 7 chance that there's a ball over the plate that they can hit. This is Barry Bonds. They had to be Barry Bonds, Tom, at 9-year-olds to be able to hit because they get such small pitches to hit to capitalize on. What was that? The crush quotient?
Yeah.
My kid's crush quotient is just off the charts because they never get to hit anything. In fact, Tom, we gave up. The game was 10-8, and in the whole entire game there was 3 hits.
No, I couldn't do it. That's why I can't.
10-8.
Stuff.
There was 3 hits. We gave up 1 hit, and it was questionable because it's one of those. Was that a hit or an error on the player?
You need if it's that
and
bad,
gave up 8 runs.
You need to be. I think that it still needs to be coach pitch for at least part of the game. You might say have your pitcher pitch to 1 batter, 2 batters. Once you walk so many,
so I think it's an age thing too. So for example, when I was that age, we played full of 9 to 12-year-olds. Like, we didn't play 9 and 10 or just 9 and under, or 10 and under. We got all 9-year-olds. And people say, well, not have the 9-year-olds getting hits. We didn't.
Yeah.
Had the 10-year-olds getting hits. Some of us did. But it was mostly the 11 and 12-year-olds throwing BBs to the other 11 and 12-year-olds, which was fine. You learned. You play. When you get to high school, who you playing against? Those guys. Yeah. So it's to me, I think the 11 and 12-year-olds throw way more strikes. The 9 and 10-year-olds, it's tough. I've umpired it, coached it, and then, like I said, I played. When I was 9, I was facing a 12-year-old. So I've never faced a 9-year-old pitcher. It went from the coach doing this to whatever a 12-year-old hoses it in there, good ones too. Ralph Roberts was my 12-year-old pitcher on our team. So just there you go. That. All right, NASCAR. Richmond, still in Virginia. It's for lovers. They named the race. Did you see that? Virginia. They named the race. I think it was Virginia's for racers. Pretty good one. Truex on the pole. Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, William Byron, Logano, Larson, Blaney, Christopher Bell, Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Busch. All right, JP, you got one other job to do today. You're gonna have to be able to read that
NASCAR schedule.
The schedule this weekend. So get ready. I'm gonna come to you in just a second to read the schedule. I want to pull up the standings real quick. It's Kyle Busch. I wanted to ask Terry, is Kyle Busch going to make it? The playoffs, and it ain't looking good.
I don't think so. You got to win. And he's just not doing that. He's not getting enough top 5, top 10 finishes. I don't know what it is. If maybe they've asked him to take a step back and let Denny take the points. I know Martin's in there now, and he's starting to win, and he obviously has been winning past few years. Maybe the focus has been shifted a little bit from the team to say, hey, we're going to try and push these 2 racers right now.
Remember how much he talks about him winning these Xfinity races and how important they are, right? So you was here 2 weeks ago after the rain out in Bristol, and Terry's point was, if it would have been on asphalt, and he's left here 2 weeks in a row, I haven't got to bring this up to him. If that was been on asphalt, they would have brought the jet dryers and out last night. You know what happened this weekend in Martinsville?
They postponed it till Monday.
Friday night rain out to Sunday. Saturday night rain out till Sunday. The Xfinity and the NASCAR races both rained out on the asphalt, pushed all the way back. It was Sunday time. There were Saturday races this week. And so after complaining about the dirt, it would never happen. 5 days later, it happens. Terry's the biggest jinx in the world. he talked about the Wolfpack ladies and the Big Ten, and that shot him back in the very next week. And then he did that with the
NASCAR.
With the NASCAR. And
It's not unusual with Terry.
Kyle Busch is 11th right now in the standings. If you was wondering about that, Danica's in last, Tom. If you were wondering about that.
Oh, okay, I wasn't.
Her and Aaron Rodgers broke. Her and the host of Jeopardy broke up recently as well. I know you're in the
the GoDaddy girl and the host of Jeopardy.
The GoDaddy girl and the host of Jeopardy. That's how some people know them.
Really tore up about it.
All right. One other final thought we didn't talk to in the NFL. The serious, real quick, shooting this week by the NFL player.
Yeah, it's South Carolina.
I don't know if either one of y'all know. He actually went to high school with me, and I played Little League with him. The last guy, the survivor, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Robert Shook, WCSL here in Cherryville. Prayers out to you and your family. He played offensive lineman. Ralph put out a picture the other day. I think it was number 65 or 56. I'll get dyslexic on it. But he played Little League with me. All around great guy, good guy, nice guy. I don't know anyone, if I've ever heard in my life, say anything bad about Robert. One of those types of
Terrible.
folks. Quiet, not a big talking thing, and just they just came out today and said they don't know any type of motive or anything yet. So he didn't have nothing to do with whatever was going on with that NFL player and that doctor and the family, and neither did the kids and anybody else. So terrible all around. So I do want to send out prayers to the Shook family here in Cherryville and Robert and everybody. All right, guys. That's do it for today's Shock Jocks. We've got Yetis baseball. JP, read your schedule real quick.
Yeah, I was about to say, I got a schedule to read. Today we have the Atlanta Braves at the Chicago Cubs at 2:05 p.m. We have the Guilford Tech at CCC Yetis at 1, and the Guilford Tech at CCC Yetis at 4. Tomorrow we have the Atlanta Braves, the Chicago Cubs again at 5:55 p.m. The Toyota Owners 400 at 2. Portland at Charlotte Hornets at 7, and the Guilford Tech at the CC Yetis at 12 noon.
All right, thank you, JP. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Friday Night Football, Burns and Salisbury. Then we'll have Saturday Morning Sports Talk next week. Yetis Baseball, 8 games in 10 days. WHS YouTube, KDCBroadcasting.com.